and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a gold line.
And is the choice of champions.
Final stone. Does he have it? Yes, he does! What a shot! John Schuster! Oh my goodness! A third of a rock for... That would make sense when I did curl.
Well, we gotta not kill that. It's gotta just be in the catch zone.
I mean, my gut is like hack to board and just roll 3 feet. 2 feet.
Yeah? Yeah, I think it's probably just hack.
You're always touching the 6.
I don't know that this leaves the 4 foot with hack.
Really good spots for Miller.
I think John's in a situation where he needs to send one of the red guards back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, and it's dead nose and just, it's gonna go spinning. This actually might catch two and just leak back.
I think it does. Here.
Okay, so it might, yep. Close to dead.
Hammer something.
Extra focus of the players, because sometimes you just couldn't hear yourself thinking, and we needed to like use signs and show what we meant instead of just shouting out a number or like play this hit and roll kind of thing. We had to show everything, so that added another level, I guess, to our game. After that, we've been a little better when the crowd is loud or when you can't hear as well.
Johnson on this one here.
Can't hear yet for line ever.
No, they like line. Now does it have the speed? They like the line. Does it have the speed? They're going hard for line. You have to get by this top yellow. Trevor Johnson leaning on it. He's by it. Now does it stop in time? Has to stop in time. What a shot from Ryland Kleider. We thought it was maybe the hardest option up from the booth, but that's why we're not down there.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
and when the pressure's on,
every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on,
It's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
and it's the choice of champions.
We are live from the Sleeman Center here in Guelph, Ontario for the WFG Masters, the 5th leg of the Grand Slam of Curling Tour. Tyler George here with 3-time world champion Brent Lang. Our feature matchup for this first men's draw will be John Epping taking on Brad Jacobs. We're going to get right into things and take a look at the lineups here. First off, for Team Epping, skip John Epping, third Jake Horgan, second Tanner Horgan, and lead Ian McMillan. And for Team Jacobs, skip Brad Jacobs, third Mark Kennedy, second Brett Gallant, and lead Ben Hebert. Brent, these two teams faced off just a couple weeks ago already. It's fresh for both teams, and Team Jacobs trying to get some revenge on Team Epping here at the Slam.
Yeah, they played a game in Swift Current Bonspiel that really is the game that set off all this broom craziness over especially the last 72 hours or 48 hours. I don't know, I'm not great at counting, but yeah, Team Epping handled Team Jacobs pretty easily in that game, and I talked to Brad a little bit, and he said he saw some things with brooms that he hadn't seen in a while, and I don't know. Sometimes you see things that sometimes we find excuses as top players, and we think that, well, how could this team beat us that badly? Or, you know, you just get into a headspace of something's going on here. They had heard about the new Balance Plus head, and which to put everything to rest, the Balance Plus head is approved under the WCF rules. I mean, there's lots of people saying it's not, or it wasn't tested properly. That's all bullshit. It was tested properly. It is under the rules, but I can't tell from here what's under the broom heads for Team Epping, but I believe they are not using them. So
yeah, that's going to be an ongoing thing here, and we don't have all the information on what's going to be happening, but with the approved heads and pads and foam that are able to be used by regulations, as this is a CTRS event, a World Curling Tour event, for points for qualifying. Everybody wants to make sure that everything's in line. But regardless of equipment, fantastic year for Team Epping. Really, John putting himself back on the scene here. He's been a great player for a long time. The results haven't really been there over the last few years, but 4 victories on tour this season.
They just won again.
Oh, this last week. Not even listed yet because it's so fresh, but they're playing a very busy schedule, but having as much success as anybody on tour with what they're doing. And equipment aside, Brent, I've seen them play in person. I've seen some of the shots they're making. This team has it going right now. They have a rhythm. They're dangerous not just here at the Slam, but for representing Canada going forward as well.
Yeah, I played John a couple times this year in mixed doubles, and having played with John for a couple of years, this is as good as I've ever seen him play, and as confident as I've ever seen him, and that's not good news. He's won a couple slams at Skip. He's won the Canada Cup at Skip. I mean, he's an accomplished dude, and they started this season outside of the Tier 2 Grand Slam, so weren't even in the Tier 2, and they've rocketed, I believe, all the way up to like 11th in the world rankings.
That is correct.
Year to date, they're well inside the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised to see them inside the top 5, and earn their spot here in Guelph, which is pretty cool for John, being an Ontario boy, kind of a home province slam as this team's first slam together. And yeah, I agree. I don't think there's any team they can't beat. There's not very many teams that they haven't beat this year. And good test here, though. First game coming up against Team Jacobs. And, you know you have to beat your best to beat any team at the Grand Slam. But Jacobs are having a pretty solid year. Probably not super happy with the results overall in terms of number of wins, because I don't think there have been many. But we'll see how this one plays out, Ty.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Brent, Epping year-to-date 9th and ranked number 11, just rocketing up the rankings throughout this season for Team Brad Jacobs. 4th in the world and number 7 year-to-date. They've had a great season as well. Only 1 victory in Penticton, but 7 caches, I believe 8 now with last week too, but they've been getting into the playoffs pretty much every single week. We saw them playing maybe at their best we've seen Brad in a long time at the previous Slam in St. John's as well, making the final there. And No shame in taking a loss to Bruce Mowat right now with 3 straight slams, one for them. They're out there again for this first draw. But if you take Mowat out of the field, Brent, I think if you're picking favorites for these events, Brad has to be right up there at the top.
Sure, yeah, it's hard to argue that. I think you could probably have an argument for 4 or 5 teams, but they're definitely one of them. Funny that you can't argue for Return as just yet.
Yeah.
Although last year they won 3 slams, which is hard to imagine.
Yeah, it's so hard to maintain that position at the top with how good these teams are, how much work they're putting in, especially, Brent, getting this close now to Olympic qualification. Teams are really ramping things up and trying to peak in this final season and a half. See that tight guard starting out there from Millen. Stops just short.
You heard Johnny say 15-7. Wow. And it's almost in the top 12 with no sweeping. So it's the misses this morning, Tyler. I'm sure you got up at the crack of dawn to watch.
Obviously.
You don't miss a shot. I know that. So I'm telling you something you already know. But the misses were definitely heavy. There wasn't very much missed light on draws. Ice looks, I hate to call ice perfect because you don't want to give that much credit to ice makers. But it looks perfect.
Yeah, I quit on my Vikings game last night early. Not because of the result in the least bit, but because I really needed to be up early to study and listen to you and be ready for this broadcast. So.
And what was the result? Did they win?
They did not come close to winning in any fashion. The game was over in the third quarter, basically. If you were a Vikings fan, it was over in the first quarter after the first drive. You knew.
8 for 8 and quickly.
That was
7 bus.
Yeah, that's about it.
Anyway, curling's more fun to watch. So here we are. Ian McMillan Leadstone here for Team Epping. And as I mentioned, John, I know he's re-energized the young guys. The Horgan brothers accomplished in their own right, but never really truly broke through at the top level. And this year, winning. I know they haven't won like tier 1 events necessarily, but they've been in the mix in lots of them. And winning events is just hard, no matter who you're playing in curling now. And they've won 5 times, so that's not a fluke. Double centers. Our prayers have been answered.
Right out of the gates. Something you may not see as much in years past either, with teams playing that aggressive in the first end in any tournament on a new surface where they're not used to the conditions. But 2 up for John, and now Ben Hebert, the outturn come around draw. His corner guard on the outturn side of the sheet.
Top 4. 14-7. Keep going, Mark. More. Good. Good sweep.
See that a lot now, just ignoring even the double centers. They know that Brett can make that double peel almost every time, so not
just as quick here.
Super dangerous. You call it a straight freeze here?
Does look that way with that broom.
Oh, it's tight for draw, but wide for killing it.
There's a good piece of that stone showing as well.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Very aggressive start here from Epping.
This is way light.
I would hope it is. If it's that fast, then these sweepers are going to be gassed by the time we get halfway through the game. But that comes up well short there from Tanner Horgan. I'd question the call there, Brent, early in the game, especially to play that precise a shot. Going under the corner guard without Hammer playing a freeze. It certainly looked like the hit was accessible.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I mean, you could have gone around the center, but leaving that one around the corner once, you know it's going to be there all end.
There you go. Good conversation.
Hey, I absolutely hate
Sounds like they got it figured out, but Brett absolutely hates it.
Yeah.
Gotta go to the middle.
Have to.
Well,
he's trumping him. Kid wins 1 mixed doubles Olympic trials, and now he's on top of the world.
Brett Gallant, the newly minted Olympian, winning the trials with Joss Peterman. Was in the elevator with Joss on the way down this morning. Gave her heartfelt congratulations. She's got a little hop in her step, as well she should. They played a fantastic tournament, really took care of Rachel and Brendan in the final.
They didn't beat us, but that's only because we couldn't get to them.
Now, did you play them in the round robin?
No.
Before that? No, okay.
No,
So
no,
never had the chance
we
to
were
ruin them.
the only team they didn't beat, I think. No, they beat everybody they played, which is pretty good.
Gallant playing the intern, come around draw.
They're going to probably not love his call after that result. Rock straight.
That's up.
And Brett's still looking at it, too. I think he wants to chat a little more.
Yeah, he wants to make sure.
Probably the chase, because even if...
Keep an eye on that stone, see if indeed they figured out from the first end already if that rock is a little straight.
Taking this out could just draw down to it, but this is actually, in my books, in the first end especially, this is a harder shot than the freeze on the button.
Whoa. Heavy! Heavy!
Curl!
Curl!
Tanner Horgan trying to get enough of this stone to remove it. Carved there from brother Jake. Saw them recently at our cash spiel in Duluth, Brent. They were every bit as sharp as you would expect from seeing their results on tour. John himself made one of the best shots I've seen this season to beat John Schuster in the playoffs. Wasn't the final shot of the game, but essentially made it so. The run back, cross house, double, picking the stone clean. Hard to even describe without about 30 seconds on a telestrator. Called and made, too.
He's never been afraid of the big shot to win a game, no matter how hard. He basically one year won a Grand Slam all by himself. No disrespect to Matt and Pat and Tim, who obviously helped, but John played 100 in the final, made nonstop intern board weight run backs, made a crazy shot to beat us in the semifinal that just, I don't know, it was unbelievable to watch, and he's definitely capable of that. Even at his advanced age, I think he can still do it.
Yeah, he ended my competitive men's career.
Oh,
last game I ever played.
Ouch.
Schuster and I had an agreement that I was going to skip at Nationals the final season, then coming back from the Olympics, we didn't play Nationals. So I skipped at the Players. He played third, and we made a tiebreaker, and Johnny demoralized me and ended my curling career. So
Curl!
nice to have it come at the hands of a good guy, though.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I wish it was me personally, but
I'd be fine with that too.
I was trying to do the math. Was I on that team? Tell me I was on that. Oh, I wasn't on that team.
Yeah, that'd be 18. Nice shot there from
setting up
Jake
a double here eventually. I think was John's plan all along.
Yeah, stack 2.
Double would be pretty thin if you nose. It'd be nice to do that, but it looks tough. 12 and a half.
I think Brad is okay with what they're saying here, nose, and he thinks it's going to be really thin to play the double, and they'll let him. Would like to get inside if possible, but not a lot of space for it.
Good news is for Team Epping, if they do kind of get to the nose or just wiggle inside, they won't be able to see much. So if they can hit it, they'll probably make the double. They won't have much other choice, I don't think.
That nose doesn't do them a whole lot of good except to take position. And then you're allowing Jacobs to play the hit and roll. You're drawing against your life. Mark Kennedy, the lefty. Trying to get this to nose now. Gallant carving.
Nice.
I like that spot.
That's good. That's the best.
Striking bands live as ever at these slam events. That pure hack gets through easy.
It's pretty thin.
7.5.
As you said, Brent, they are playing it even though they're admitting it is a very thin double. They don't have a lot of choice.
Jake Horgan here, intern. I thought I heard him say 7.5, which is pretty easy for him to throw.
Looked like he set it back to the line.
Whoa's not what you want to hear if you're a Team Jacobs fan.
Boy, Jakey.
They're thicker than they like, but good result there from Jake to get both out. He'll take that.
Just want to get the broom right. I have Brett here.
I think that's close.
This is where you got to.
That's the split center. I think that's good.
Yeah, they got to figure out that rock of Brett's for sure.
Split center. We're probably trying to be just past, right? Okay, a little less is fine if you want. Okay. It's not like we were flirting with the guard on yours. Yeah. Still a good 3-set though. Yeah. 15 seconds, guys. Wait, yeah. Fully for.
So 15, that's about as quick as you'd like to see it as a player. Anytime it gets to 15, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you start to, well, I started to lose my feel anyway. It just became throw it lighter than you think, and that's not a great feeling.
Got room.
Yeah, the kick out of the hack, so difficult when it gets to that speed, because it feels like you're really not kicking at all.
Go ahead. Curl distance would be best.
Wait, it's okay.
Curl distance would be best. Curl distance.
Weight's good, guys.
Mostly
Weight's
distance
fine.
now. Line's perfect.
Not light.
Line's perfect. Line's perfect. Good job. Good.
Brett
good
brings
sweep.
a calmness that maybe Benny doesn't quite bring to the table on the sweeping,
I
and
think that was a 15. Unless you want to freeze, then do it.
Yeah, really well read there. And
Yeah, just
have to imagine, even though it's a different discipline, Brett, Brett playing as well as he has been in doubles and earning that Olympic spot, it just gives you that much more confidence and almost takes a little bit of pressure off you too, knowing you have that in your pocket, regardless of what happens with men's. You know, he's playing with house money to a certain degree.
If I'm Brett, I continue to tell the guys that, like, I'm going with or without you.
Yeah,
so
you want to come
guys
along.
better pull your weight here. But although he isn't qualified yet,
That's full 8 for depth.
yes, they have to go and earn a spot for Canada, but odds are that's where they're going to end up. But they would have to finish. If they finish top 6 at the Worlds,
correct,
I think that locks it. If they don't, they'd have to get unlucky too with certain teams, but it's possible, and then they'd have to go to a last chance, which I would really like their chances there. So Epping trying to freeze one on here, Ty.
Line's good.
Not really any other option.
Not a. They left it in such a great spot on Brad's.
Coming down.
Excuse me, Mark's second.
No bounce with this
Still
line.
scoring space for
Line's
2,
good.
but there isn't anywhere to draw around to get shot and be buried.
Would love to keep this one mostly open right on the corner.
Bouncing ahead. Yep, straight.
It's pretty perfect.
That's really good. Quick spinner on the other sheets for the other matchups here. Dropkin McEwen over on sheet A. The 3-time reigning slam champ, Bruce Mowat, taking on the kids, Team McDonald on B. On sheet D,
So to
Nicholas
me, you can
Sedin
probably throw
taking on
just
Hossley.
through and go like that.
He can, yeah, he can. Okay.
Edge.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any fact checkers out there, but I'm going to tell a story, and it might not be true. Were you around?
Apocryphal's good enough for the booth.
Top button.
Half truths and made up is fine. There was a year when it was the Capital One Grand Slam of curling, where there was $1 million bonus if you could win all 4 slams.
Okay.
And I don't think I dreamt that up. So
that sounds right.
At BLang99 on X, either tell me I'm right or tell me I'm wrong. Not you, Saville, because I am your memory. But I believe that was a thing, and so maybe Team Mao was just born in the wrong. But imagine that was the story this week, playing for $1 million. That would be pretty cool to see in curling. Hashtag Nick Sulsky, are you listening? Oh, he's in the back corner.
He's in the room.
He's not listening.
Don't put that idea in his head.
But yeah, I think that was a thing.
Oop, easy there, Johnny.
You can feather the top.
Epping stepping on the back foam and almost toppling over.
He's still an athlete. This might be back button.
Too much weight to go around. They needed a piece.
That is accidentally really good, I think, if they're second.
That is really close.
I don't think they are.
Yeah, that's may have been really well called by Kennedy to get that result and good communication for the sweepers.
Yeah, I do. Guess just hit and roll.
Oh, John thinks it's them,
Try
so
and
that's
from
pretty
what weight to
fortunate. And
normal?
it also chipped the yellow buried, so John can't hit it anymore.
A couple inches low. I feel like it's like just 7/8 low. Right there.
See, that's where I'd like to see John, and he's not this guy, but while he slides by Brett and Benny, just say, you lucky
I feel like
pricks.
it's a normal because I got to keep
Just
the roll
under your
flat.
breath, just gently.
He's a nice
And
guy,
we're
but
just
he's thinking
basically
it.
rolling to center
Yeah,
line.
well, he knows it. They all know it. All 8 people out there know what just happened. If that gets by, it's gone. And if it rubs a little harder, double, or it rubs a little softer, it goes too far.
So Epping playing, I heard 7/8, hit and roll, playing firm weight. Needs this to be a flat roll to still stay for at least second, if not shot.
Curl, hard.
It's going to be a little thicker than 7/8, and
Probably be a hit for 2 here for Brad, I would think.
Yeah, looks to be an easier shot.
Might as well hit it. Just nose it. We got room here. I'm thinking 11-5. I got to think that board right there will be close.
Okay. My first gut with this was max, but
Yeah?
First gut.
First gut. What's your second gut? 11-5 right there. I hope that's enough. I hope that's not tight.
Great.
Yeah, they're really expecting it to
Run,
hold.
eh?
Not seeing any crazy snaps so far on curl, but that is a very...
Might have to
say max for the broom, too.
Might have to check their broom heads. Too soon?
Took one end.
Hey,
Yeah.
I almost made it through a whole end.
Final shot, first end. Brad Jacobs, control weight, board weight, somewhere in that range, hit for 2.
Just clean. Clean.
Getting closer to hack.
Yeah, 11.5 is just like a heavy hack. Easy board. Doesn't matter what it is, it's 2 points.
Right on the nose for Jacobs. Big sweep call from Kennedy on Jacobs first. Ends up setting up the 2, so they lead John Epping 2-0 after 1 end to play.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
Few rocks in play there in the first. Results in a 2 for Team Jacobs. They lead Team Epping 2-0 on the second end.
I guess straight rock should be good.
Yeah, that's good. Good. You're right.
Hear them talking about rocks again. I don't know if they gave Benny Brett's, but they should, if they think it's straight. They'll have rock books on all of these rocks. I mean, it's the same stones at every slam. They do get resanded it before every event, but the tendencies tend to, I guess I said that twice. The tendencies show up regardless, so they'll have a good idea coming in. And
How's this rock? That's a bad fucking stone. Wow.
how many F-bombs do you guys want?
Wow.
That's $20. So I'll give you 4 for that, $5 each.
So they believe that rock is really straight and really fast.
Yeah, who cares about this, how straight it is? How hard did he throw that? Forgot to stand one. Missed one.
Missed the stone. They brought that one over from the local curling club.
Hard line. Down the middle. Yep. You gotta go,
That middle track.
This is definitely
Maybe a little slower.
Got it curling too. This is really got to go.
Keep going. Let's go high and we'll go
If they
2.
can get it over, they can still
We'll go
stack
2.
2
We'll go
corners
2
on
on
that
this side.
side, and they do.
Okay.
Easily over.
Maybe tight.
Back 4 with a normal rock.
Brent, you were out there last night with your squad, Team McEwen. What did you see in the pre-event practice ice-wise?
I would say that's the best pre-event ice I've seen at a slam. It was, kind of almost 15 seconds between the hogs, like 14.6 or 7, and we were last practice too, and it was 3 or 4 inches into the 12-foot to the button, curling to the wings. You know, the runners, if you didn't throw them super hard, were coming up an inch. It would be kind of what you would draw up on a drawing board if you were trying to design ice, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, 15-1.
So, and first draw this morning looked like more of the same. So I think the ice is fantastic.
Yeah, we usually see ice a little straighter, a little faster once the games start after the pre-event practice. So I think jives with what we're seeing out there right now.
So going for the double center or double corners here. The first one's too high. You got it a little bit off track there, and this one doesn't look a lot harder.
Yeah, really curling.
Hey, line's good.
Needs to get around.
Line's good. Line's good.
No, this looks good.
Yep.
No, it's all there. No, you're good. Okay. Just a little tender on release. That's it. Good weight. Well done, guys.
So not enough set, Johnny's telling him. Pass that along to the shooter. See if Tanner tells Ian or just kind of eats that info. We can't hear him, but he is talking to him.
Yeah. And that goes with what you normally see out of the shooter, too. Whether you set or not, as a skip, you just want it to be the same every time. So Brent, that really tells you that Ian's normal throw has more of a set than what he threw on that one. So you're not ever telling your shooter to do something different than they normally do. If he's directing him, telling him that you didn't set it enough, then that's away from his normal tendency.
Good, Brett.
So the speed has increased to lightning. So Brad said that's lightning 15-8, which if they sweep that a lot, they can get that to the top 8 easy. Even with the hardline brooms, I think. So it is fast, bordering on faster than I would like to see, but I don't have to throw any rocks, so who cares? Got to save the shooter here if you're Tanner. The double's great, but just end up with a yellow and tight here. Sounds made.
A nice double there from
Nice shot.
Tanner Horgan. Keeps the shooter around as well, which is most important thing there. Losing both.
10.5.
A great shot from Tanner.
Wait, right?
Not sure I totally agree with Brad saying hit and roll to the corner here. I know he doesn't want to roll far. He wants to choke off those corner guards, but
Wait's good. Wait's good.
that thing's going straight around it anyway. So
Curl mark, dig.
this is way out there.
Yeah, it's not sticking around.
Too much ice.
Brad calling himself out, saying too much ice on that one. I haven't seen any narrow misses as of yet, unless it was really light.
Didn't see many this morning either, and that was the miss. Heavy and a little bit wide, and those misses go together. But I wouldn't bet against the resanding of the rocks. I think the surface is perfect. As the week goes on, the rocks they just kind of get worn out a little bit. Not worn out, but worn in and curl a little less. So if they have to make a decision, the ice makers are, I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're the hardest working people in this event. Outside of probably Christy and Jenny.
And Colin out there doing all this content. It's unbelievable. The guy that used to do broadcasts with us stuff here. Yeah, he might make an appearance at some point when he's done golfing and making bread and all that
Drives
stuff.
golf carts and eats candy, as far as I know. Anyway, they got to watch it and they got to decide soon. Like, if they're going to stand them, they want to do it by probably tomorrow night. Right. So they have to make a decision. And John and Mark know better than really anybody. Maybe Greg Owasco would be the only other one I'd even mention in the same breath.
We haven't really seen anything snap.
And they got to decide where this is headed and whether they need to do something.
A little more curl into the middle. I feel like that's still close to max.
Nice intern come around there. Nice pair from Tanner Horgan.
Just a little less. Yeah, I like that. Okay, hold on.
Mark's trying the chase here. So this was a shot that Epping didn't really want to take on last end. Can't see how buried that is, but it's not buried behind the tight one, so.
Well then.
That's the only guard you're really worried about.
Really gotta go. Really gotta go still.
Gallant trying to get this one to turn.
Straight. Whoa. Clean. Yeah, roll it.
Good sweep there. Rolls away from the corners.
Good sweep, Brett.
Shot. Very good sweep.
It looked like from the rear view that Brett got that one to turn over pretty good.
It also looked like that was a pretty easy shot. He's got to get it behind the tighter one, which I know is overcurled the higher one, but it shouldn't be that difficult to do now that they've seen it. See if Jake can get one in there. But a blank end in the Mallet McDonald game. Not going to have a blank end this time, though. Ask Chelsea, I'll ask you, Ty, how many times do you think people are going to accidentally blank this week? Like the second one. Like in Lee's hammer.
I'd be pretty surprised if anybody did it at all.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, right?
So if you gave me the over-under at 0.5, I'm going to take the under.
Yeah, no, that's what we came up with too, so that makes that right.
The McDonald team lost the final in Duluth to John Epping. Coming off a very good result there, and I believe that was a last rock win for Epping in that game as well.
The golf shot there. I don't think that's chaseable.
I think we're freezing, guys.
That one
This was
completely
15-1.
buried.
Yeah, that's what I got to.
Yeah, I think you're thinking 15-5, though.
I'm thinking very similar to what I just threw.
15-5, yeah, that's
Close?
getting
Yep.
fast. That's faster than this morning. Could be the difference if the men heat up the sheet a little bit better than the ladies do, and it gets a little bit more
I'll be close for
polished and faster. You can hate me if you want, but that's just kind of the way it goes.
Kennedy playing this freeze, you heard, thinking 15-5. For those that know hog-to-hog times, that is, as Brad Jacobs said, lightning fast.
Line's good.
And right when these tracks warm up, too, this center line track tends to be the fastest on the sheet.
The way Mark throws the rock, too, like he's got to slide out and almost fall over. He used to say that, like when it gets this fast, I feel like I'm going to fall over and sliding so slow because he's got that extension.
Right, and he's got
no trouble here, though.
Perfectly done. And the extension combined with the leg kick, too, with how far back it goes, how slowly you have to come back in.
Take a good 4 feet off. 4 to 6.
I think.
Yeah, 4 feet less. Yeah. It's middle range.
Not going to be any slower here. As you throw the spot over and over, it tends to get faster and faster as well.
Jay Corrigan trying to follow that perfect freeze from Kennedy.
Definitely last.
Pretty close. Line's great. Yep.
Has to stay high in order to be second count. No over curl on this line.
You're there. Yep.
It's a little heavy. They got to be careful here.
Yes. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Go. Roll the yellow. Roll the yellow a bit. Okay. That's not bad.
That's not. Johnny's saying that's not bad, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah, there's not much you can do with that at that
They're
angle.
probably playing something off of it, right? But still, I think that red would be first.
The red one can't get any farther away, though.
Shot.
Do you hate a tight guard on it, or is it split the rings?
Well, there's only a few rocks left, right? If we go here, what's he doing? He's playing off of it, right?
You're right.
I don't like the guard.
If we throw a guard, he has a chance to go around it.
Yeah, as Brad just said.
Okay, so
You
listen.
don't want to lose the rings. Like you can be.
No,
here.
I know. Yeah. That should be close. Okay.
Like the call here.
Well, it's not good. I don't want a 15-9. I would like a 15.
You guys like this call?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got to be like top 4.
I would take a little extra ice here. I mean, you'd hate to throw this perfect and over curl. That shouldn't get out of the 8-foot, but
Like the
it's
same as
more
it's kinda
the
what's
shot
going
he's
on,
worried about hitting the yellow and leaving it there, and maybe the red squirts and the shooter comes in.
Okay.
But
Yeah, and you don't want to stagger the two of them either, and then you leave the freeze on the back one where you can't get it out. So you really want to make sure it curls enough, but not too much. Easy game.
From up here.
Oh.
Yeah, really easy.
Out-turn draw for Brad Jacobs.
Crunchy.
Trying to get
Little crunchy.
likely shot rock.
Play the weight. Good. Play the weight. Line's okay.
Line's good, guys.
Brad thinking the path is just a little fresh based on the feel.
Line's good. Okay. If it's Ben's, if anybody's. Yep.
Little carve there from Benny to try and slow it down. Don't want to make
Great judge.
It's not bad. Yeah.
freeze to that, or I mean, this doesn't look. Yeah.
Freeze is all they have if they're trying to score two.
I think so.
The freeze game, Brent, at the slams more than anywhere else, so difficult.
15-1 on that? Yeah, just freeze
As if they're staggered at all, they fly out with the striking bands. If they make contact at all when you're playing the freeze, they separate so much, again, because of the striking bands.
There's not a spot you could put this rock where Cups can't get it out 99 times out of 100 either.
Out-turn freeze from Epping.
Want a bit of room?
Looks like it's moving awfully slow.
Sweeper's really trying to carry this to get the shot.
Line's great.
Getting close for speed.
Line's great, boys. Keep it moving.
Still going.
Keep it moving. Go, 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 go.
Good sweep. So they got to second count. Really good sweep to get it that far.
See anything for 2 right now?
You can
Are we-
play
are we-
these are close. These are close. Just take a look. I think it's red, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think it might still be 2.
Okay. Does it matter? Don't you just rip that out of there? Like,
wouldn't think it mattered.
Pick that, guys.
Yeah.
Pretty big spot on this stone that Jacobs can hit safely.
Only about one exact spot he can't hit it, really.
So just run right where he throws
Yeah,
it.
he was right. It was close. Like,
Gotta think this is right where you throw it, Todd.
that's what
And
I
John will
think.
throw the draw to the button,
Top of
pick
the
his
rock is
favorite
good.
turn, or the turn he knows best.
You heard Gallant say right where you throw it, meaning they think wherever they put the broom is basically where the rock's going to end up. They're not going to see any movement here. Won't fade back either. But Jacobs last. Intern Peel just looking to clear this yellow stone. Don't need to stick around.
Yep. Keep going, Manny. Keep going. Keep going. Good sweep.
Does miss the back one. Perfectly done.
Good scrub.
Will be a draw to the 4-foot for Epping, choosing the intern.
This is the turn they threw in the draw to the button, I believe.
Same weight I've been
so-
giving you on these ins?
Yep.
We're not seeing like it slower or anything, are we?
No.
Definitely not slower.
Final stone, second end. John Epping drawing against 3 red counters.
Line's good. Running like it's heavy, but line's good. No, I'm curling now.
Sweepers like it. One will go to back of the 4-foot, but safe. So Epping takes his single. After 2 ends of play, Jacobs leads Epping 2-1.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp. Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
It's a big draw against 3 from John Epping, his final stone of the second. Still trailing Brad Jacobs 2-1. Jacobs will have hammer here in the 3rd end of action. Brett, just a quick glance over on sheet B there too for young Jordan McDonald. It's got to be fun to play your first game in a slam and play the #1 ranked team in the world who's won the last 3. Welcome.
Fun's one word for it, I guess. And his next game he plays Team Dean. Welcome to the slams, young fella. Oh, a great up-and-coming team. I've heard a lot about them, seen a little bit this year, but Coach Willie Lyburn, one of the original slammers.
I didn't even notice Willie though.
Oh, yeah.
Played against him a few times.
I see 2 original slammers on the bench. Jeffrey Stoughton's in the house.
Yeah, I saw the substitute coach down there for your squad. Really went to the scrap heap on that one.
Cheering against them today, obviously. Check myself.
Coaching Brent's McEwen squad down here.
Benny's winning, but he's angry. That rock's just not very friendly. That's missed the house twice. That won't make him happy for sure. The chance for another guard here, I would think. For Team Epping and
Still not heavy.
Going back to double centers as they did in the first.
No line's good.
I think Benny was trying to draw it in the rings there. came up short, but
I'd be pretty surprised if they weren't, just based on how we've seen Brad play this entire season and the scoreboard situation.
Line's great. Well done, guys.
Good job. It's a pair there from McMillan.
So I'm playing this as 15-4, guys.
Oh, I think that's the tee. So I think you're like,
the hardest part about having a shitty rock is that you get to throw your good one now, and Benny's still a little bit unsure.
Real close. Real close.
Like for him to be still talking about numbers in the third end of what he's trying to throw, that's not normal.
Very important one here for Ben with the double centers for Epping. Love to take this top 8, top 4 position.
15-2.
Brett going to the slow down swipe. How do we make that illegal?
I don't think it'll take much.
Okay, good.
I think the players like that one very
Nobody
much.
does, no.
That's a little deep. That'll allow Epping to freeze. Still above the tee line, but scoring space completely cut off now. And with the 2 centers, if Tanner Horgan's able to make this freeze, that rock's not going anywhere for a while.
Pretty big, huh?
Easy early.
As a group, they decided to ban specific heads. So as a group, can't they just say stop doing that? I think that should be easy.
Line's good.
Be one of the next things on the list.
Knife,
Or there's,
knife,
yeah.
knife.
Little short. Little
Knife.
No, it's good.
Knife.
It's a good looking shot here.
Keep
I think.
knifing it. Keep knifing it. Well done,
Very
Tanner.
nice.
Yeah, nice shot from Tanner.
Brett's going to be called for the double, yeah.
Now, when you slip up in a charity event, Brent, you have to get called out on
3/4
there.
ball.
This is automatic. Young Horgan out here may have been late for a 1 p.m. draw in Duluth.
That's unacceptable.
Your partner here may have taken over for the first end, and as his punishment for showing up late, I stayed on the ice for the next 3 ends and told him what shots to play in when the broom was wrong for the entire time.
That seems fair.
And I'm now his dad. That's been established.
Also fair.
But that also comes with saying he's a really good kid.
Darn it.
And I enjoyed doing it. But he felt terrible about it, obviously. He was great the rest of the week. We'll have him back. Anytime
Just
he
the
wants to
stomach
come.
flu, or?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get that Thursday night bug when you're a rook at one of those events. So
Didn't do the proper training.
no, not for the American free pour.
That is true. God bless America.
Yeah, I still think you're going
One of these years we're getting you down there.
I know,
What
I know.
happened?
My charities field circuit was supposed to open up, and now I'm here, and I'm coaching a little bit.
Curl
And
if you can.
You gotta go, guys.
I don't know.
No, line's good.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Just over. Get on his broom.
So still going double centers. Good call. Not an easy shot when the ice is this fast, and that's well done.
Team Epping controlling the draw weight very well. Jacob's thinking about this one.
They're still peeling. Are you taking on the double, or? Yeah, that would be good. That looks really hard,
Or
though.
just straight peel.
Yeah.
I think you're straight peel in the top one.
Yeah, you can't see any of that snow from the long view here. Just the correct shot. You may get a better chance at it.
It's hard to make that high guard that good.
Clean. Good. Good throw.
And throwing that particular shot, Brent, for those watching wondering why the line is more difficult on that shot than it would be that draw to the forefoot, you have a reference point
Same I gave you
that
coming
you're very
this way?
familiar with when you're drawing to the fours all the time. If you're throwing a draw 2 feet over the hog line, it's not a shot you play very often, and you don't get near as much time to read the line with it going a shorter distance. So placing it line-wise on that shot is extremely difficult to line up as well as they did.
Definitely, and getting the weight right is
right. Yeah, if you're just barely short, you've hogged it.
Just take 24 feet off the draw button. Like, what does that feel like?
Line's great.
Little bounce.
Whoa.
Ooh, this needs to slow down, though. Can't bounce on this line.
Whoa.
Yeah, they are coming in this time, trying to line up both yellows to this red stone.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not too bad.
Can you rip those out of there, though?
That was pretty good.
Thinking
You can also play
initial call, all four go with those.
If you ran it and jammed it in here, you might get both of those going and roll a bit.
Yeah.
As close to
Like a
nose
little
as
high.
possible, though, a little high.
What turn is that?
Running at that straight, eh?
What turn are you throwing?
I think whichever one he wants to throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Center of the rock to hit center of the rock.
So Mark Kennedy, see how many he can get going here. Thinking all three yellows may go.
Real hard, Brad.
Whoa! Oh, we want to get ours. Whoa!
Missed it badly.
Oh,
that's bad.
Feathers
Kicked
it.
it to the worst spot possible.
Now right behind those yellows, and Epping races up to throw the guard. Those are dead gunned up to that red stone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one and a half, two.
Yeah.
I think that's preferable to losing the stone, but
I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess
I'm
it is.
trying to,
It is, yeah.
Because then you're guarding two with
Yeah.
nothing there, but if you're going to touch it, that's as unfortunate as you can be. I don't think either team was happy there. Epping thought, oh, that red should have gone.
Weight's good.
Jacobs thought, oh, we
Just
should have got
bite
by it.
center.
Curling early.
Two. Halfway.
Whoa, then, whoa.
So what is Jacobs going to
Whoa,
do?
whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like we might get over curl here.
Okay.
I feel like we're going to over curl here. Whoa, we got to sit. We got to sit. Nibble.
I don't
Do you
think it-
peel one more time, or do you try to corner freeze on the second yellow stone?
I don't think that's bad that overcurled. Like what?
We're dead here. I still think you're trying to run it. Make some noise.
We're dead here. That sums it up.
Yeah, Brad thinking we need to make contact with these two in the house on this angle now, so we have two chances on our last two to deal with whatever happens. Kennedy would love to get
Let it go.
top one go.
Whoa, yep. Whoa.
Great shot.
That's
Attaboy.
exactly what they were hoping for.
Yeah, real good.
Great shot from Kennedy.
A little better. Good sweep.
Halfway's tight.
Okay, I think we're just keeping them in the rings for now.
Still a guard for Epping, and decision for Jacobs will throw some kind of run back again, and then probably on his last, he's going to have to make another run back.
Nice speed here.
I mean, honestly, a little tighter's not horrible, just so that even if he makes the run, I'm going to have a world of reds to go around, right? To get the force.
Yeah,
so
sounds good. It's kind of like a little bit further than Jake's.
yeah, I think so. You want to just nibble center. No more though.
Good situation here for Epping, Brent. He's playing with no risk as long as he's able to make this guard and just get it a little inside the red. Thinks he can set up a force at worst.
Weight's pretty good.
He's
Line's
saying
good.
set up the force. He's
Weight's
really
good.
hoping for the steal here.
Yeah, his worst case scenario, he's
Overcurling.
thinking if the run is made, I can still go around the guards and get a force.
Oh, coming down a bit.
Okay.
He's got to stop
Easy.
curling.
Easy. Whoa.
Pretty good.
Just stops in time.
Could chase that with back four. That's the only way to get in real trouble, though.
Maybe even high a bit.
There's a chance it bumps the red in, isn't it?
You can definitely get to that with back 4 foot and get shot, but
Might get lucky.
Yeah, you might. Might, Mark.
So my only thought was, okay, if you're good with it, I'm good with it.
sounds like they're good with it.
Let me see the broom.
It's like a
Little more.
It's a pretty big spot you can hit on this red stone that you get a good result.
Half a third.
You make the run fantastic, but
I was
it
thinking
hangs a
the red-
little, you get the double peel, still
This
good.
way. Okay. Right here, Brad.
Yeah, about a third. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are playing this, the double peel and thinking maybe they can get this to spin onto the rings too.
Sounds like we had some technical difficulties, but we're back up. You guys missed some epic commentary, probably best ever.
I wonder what actually made the error, what didn't. I'll have to ask people afterwards.
Double peel, maybe it spins in, maybe this red spins in and chisels another red in.
Straight.
Oh, Feels unlucky there. So that stays in the house. Game changer. This end. Johnny Jackrabbit. Oh, and the spin's coming back.
That didn't get the break there. So Epping has to hit the back and play for the force.
Well, it's hard to stay, though. This is going to be a blank a lot of times. Like, you have to hit this dead on the nose or a little inside. Somebody's asking, how does the slow down sweep even work? Southern man, I have no idea, but I'm with you. He says he or she says, I assume it's a he. I also don't like it.
Yeah, the physics, we can't
If
explain anything.
it starts with
All right,
physics,
so
ask somebody else.
Eileen Geving watching at home says third end, they came back up.
They haven't heard anything?
So as long as they heard me rip and Jake for being late for the 1 p.m. draw at the charity event, then I'm happy.
Whoa. Full heavy. Straight. Clean. Curl.
Good.
Clean.
It's a good shot. Doesn't look hard. But that was
It's a really tough
very
shot.
precise shot.
Yeah, the physics of slowing the rock down,
I feel like closer to center line, we might
we
get a little
cannot
bite.
explain that.
It's
but
something to do with, and I'm going to take a shot and embarrass myself.
Yeah, please.
10.5.
It's something to do with sweeping polishes the ice. So when you do those long, deep, and then you don't do it again, it's almost like it's creating ridges. I remember there was a thing called striping that somebody kind of came up with. And as a group, and this was probably at least 10 years ago or 15 years, as a group, we're like, don't do that.
Yeah.
So nobody did it anymore. But now, for whatever reason, we're not doing that. And it was Team Botcher, it was Brett and Ben that really were the first people to do it.
Easy, Ben.
Now I see juniors doing it, and that really drives me crazy.
Final shot here, third end. Brad Jacobs, open hit and stick for their single point after Epping was able to stick around on his. Nicely done by Brad. That will be a single. They take the one. They lead Team Epping 3-1 after 3 ends.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
Every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Fourth end of action here at the WFG Masters here in Guelph, Ontario at the Sleeman Center.
Line's great.
Valley George here with three-time world champ Brent Lang. Our feature matchup, Brad Jacobs taking on John Epping. Brent, pretty well played game back and forth. Really the only difference is that great sweep call from Mark Kennedy in the first end. That deep draw that just slivered a piece of stone on the top of the forefoot and stuck around for second count. Ended up being 2 for Jacobs, and that's pretty much the difference here in this game.
Yeah, and if you look at that first end, and not to point fingers at any one person, but when Tanner played that freeze and over-curled and kind of froze nose on the guard, that was where the deuce kind of came from, and they just could never really squiggle out of it. And then, yeah, since then it's been pretty much dead even. But at the top level, when everybody's making almost everything, one bad miss usually ends up on the scoreboard. And that was the case there. So got a couple blank ends. I still don't think it's going to matter. But so we got McDonald with the hammer playing 4 down 2-0 to Mao at having blanked. McDonald blanked the last end, but there's rocks everywhere. And then McEwen tied 2-2 with Dropkin. So McEwen with the hammer and having blanked the third end. So
Real close.
Line's really good, boys.
Chelsea and I talked about if we want no blank ends, some people blank for time. If you blank an end, it costs you time. Blank as many as you want, 1.5 minutes every time, or 2 minutes every time.
That would be interesting. We really got to think about, do we need the 1.5 minutes more, or do we need the blank more?
Just stop blanking ends, guys.
Just don't do it.
It's really
period.
boring in the booth.
Yeah. We can only be so interesting, and for those that weren't able to watched the first few ends for the reasons we're hearing. We were really on our game early, too, so I feel bad for you.
So we can take those fines back from Team Jacobs, the 4 F-bombs on one shot, we can take it back.
That shouldn't count.
They don't have to pay.
They should have to.
I think we're
And
sliding.
in all seriousness about the blanks,
Just leave it, yeah.
it isn't that much fun to watch, but strategy-wise, it's always been a big part of the game. That's not a reason to keep it, and I'm not against trying no blanks at all. I'm actually all for it. I think we should try pretty much everything and see what sticks and throw the rest in the trash, but until we try it, you won't know.
Brent, this particular shot here, the Lance first here in the fourth, is one that's been up for a lot of debate with commentators that we brought in the booth, the players especially that are playing in these slams, where you throw this fifth stone when there's 2 corners and 2 rocks in the house.
Sweep for here, boys. Curl it.
Brad is throwing it into the rings to cut off the draw path
That's walking.
underneath the corner guards, and this one over curling, actually going underneath the corners. But now one particular player we had up here as a guest commentator, Nicholas Sedin, said he absolutely hated that shot, throwing to cut off that draw path.
Good, because I absolutely love it. So,
and that's why I bring it up, is we've heard so many different opinions on where that fifth stone should go.
Well,
and people whose curling minds you really respect have different opinions on it. It makes it that much more interesting.
Yeah, and I've always thought of strategy as the idea of, if I was in the other team's shoes, would I want us to put it right here? And if the answer is no, then that's probably the best spot. What do I want them to do if I'm down 2 playing the fourth end?
Sure.
I want them to throw a center guard so that I can nose it and run it back, blow it all up, and have 3 guards. I don't want them to go in there, because now I have to make a perfect freeze above the tee line or perfect hit and roll, and it takes me longer to get behind those guards. But so I like it, and Jerry Peckham back, I don't know, when I was playing with Cooey, he talked to us about it. That was kind of the first I'd ever heard of it. You draw 3, and you don't have to line them up. His idea was you draw them totally spread out, but inside the corner guards, so that you can't draw for even third shot.
Yeah. We always like staggering the first 2 a little bit, not deadline them up. If it was a situation where we thought that the opponent could possibly draw around them later in the end and use it as a guard.
Sure.
Then you always have the second one, the deeper one, to run straight back with a shorter shot and not stagger it off. Yeah. But that's if you're playing in a situation where you know your opponent is going to be all out aggressive.
And that's part of it too. If they're not on the same line, if they're spread out, there's nothing hooked.
Yeah.
You're always going to have at worst a run back or a blasted out freeze, which these guys make every time.
Right.
So I think it makes a lot of sense. And I still, if I'm trying to score points, I hate seeing it against me, which tells me I think it's a good strategy.
Sure.
But Nick seems to know what he's doing. Maybe not so much this year yet, but down 4-1 to Hosley right now. Giving up a 4 in the second. Ouch.
Yeah, they have not been at their sharpest really at any point throughout the season. Talked with Chris Sundgren a bit about that. He just says it just hasn't been there. It's been frustrating for them, and I don't think that'd be news with their results.
No, it's not that deep.
But for that team, their hallmark has always been peaking once you get to play-down season. And maybe taking them a little bit longer than it has in years past to get there.
What a shot that is. And Mick just played a run back for 2 and gave up 1. Ran it into his own and gave up a steal on that note. And I was waiting for you to say, talking to Chris, he's suggesting flipping the lineup, play reverse order.
I got a thin half.
Switch something. I mean, it's
That's
just
the
not
off the
working
record
great,
part,
right? Yeah, well, he didn't talk to me and I didn't hear anything, so I'm not speaking out of school. I like to see it.
And if you chip that one over the top and kind of roll, that's good too.
It's a pretty damn good shot there, drawing kind of to the
definitely
inch.
the call.
Yeah, really
Hey,
good
Mark,
placement.
you're throwing like 13. 13, get to here.
Good angle set up for Team Epping. And you can see not even half of this for Mark Kennedy.
And any less than half, it's going to touch that red, and they're not playing enough weight that it would kill it. So this is hard. I'm a little surprised they're not playing the runner, but not that that's a great call either.
And the thing with the run is you still have 4 shots left. So you have time to deal with whatever happens afterwards. If you don't make something with this shot, then you haven't improved the situation in the least bit.
cannot touch that red. If it touches the red, it's disaster like that. Oh, it didn't.
Very good throw. I thought it would curl a little bit. Fuck.
There he's back in the F-bomb game. That wasn't even close enough to kill the red, so that's the only thing they got going for them.
Yeah, Epping with a tailor-made 2 set up now if they're able to roll this away. This is key shot for the whole end here, Brent. You absolutely cannot nose this. Leave that possible double back. If you roll this to the outside, it's going to be really difficult for Jacobs to avoid giving up at least a 2.
See if Jake can get the weight right here and let the big brutes on the front end. Johnny was bragging to me early in the season about these young sweepers, and I'm like, John, you're telling me I was shitty. Like, I'm right here, man. Overcooked the curl, and
You gotta roll it. You gotta roll it. You gotta roll it. Okay, yeah,
let's not carve without me saying it, John.
Don't panic on him, yeah.
Yeah, John trying to politely say you guys messed that up.
It's not there.
It's still not there, so. But can stack it now, and now you're going to have to make the roll on the next one, too.
So if that was Kevin Martin talking to his young guys, he would have said, don't ever do that again. Just different leadership styles.
Yeah, you can fill that blank in however you like,
Yeah.
but there's only one word that goes there. Yeah, as you said, it's leadership.
There's a lot of ways to lead the ship.
Curl, Brett.
Probably just trying to nose this and put some pressure on them to make a roll, because there's not a double now, but there will be if they nose this and another nose is made.
Yep, good shot from Mark, and that's indeed what they're doing. Just hoping for a nose back now again from Epping.
And this one is, you're better to roll out of the rings than to nose this, because they can't get that yellow. Look at that from that angle.
Yeah, that rock is stuck.
What, they're going to have to play a freeze, and if they bounce off the top, they might leave you a double to lie 3.
Yeah, and well said, Brent. This is one where you really have to be aggressive at the roll, and obviously you'd want to stick around, but the nose is the worst case scenario if you're making contact. So that's the only route to get that yellow stone.
Yeah. Whoa.
We'll have your.
Whoa.
Yeah.
John's going to be very aggressive with this sweep.
Curl. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Oh, I'm close to missing it, but I think I'm perfect.
Can't say it any better than that.
No, that's good. He's absolutely right.
Close to missing it, but I think I'm perfect.
Normal.
Good laugh from John there, too. Yeah. I think he knows that he said something that we were going to catch him on, definitely.
Normal weight.
So that is indeed perfect. 2 set up now for Epping.
Look what Hosley just played against the Dean. Spread 3 out. Didn't do it very well, but up 4 and didn't throw anything close together.
That is really interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that set up after 5 rocks.
If that middle one was on the button, it would have been great. Like, I think that red one's now 4th shot.
Yeah, poor execution on the tap for sure there. Notice it trying to roll in for shot rock here, too. Yeah, that's not. So you ever think about freezing here now, Brent?
Where? Here?
Yeah, right there.
Sure, yeah, that'd be really,
you got a lot of
good.
space you can throw it to and still be shot.
But he just rips
I
that
don't know. I
anyways.
don't know what that gets us.
If we freeze and they blow it
Dirty
up,
just want to nose it.
maybe a dig.
I think it's a deuce. I don't.
Nose. Yeah, I like nose. Control. Wait right through the other end.
Yeah, it's really a matter of if we make this dead perfect, he's still probably making the peel out anyways. So what are we doing?
And then can you make that chase for 3? That would be the only way to do it.
Yeah,
if
that's
that was
the thought.
If that was behind the tee line or that was a little closer to center where it's a little easier to make that freeze, like I could buy it, but
yeah, the freeze was not to try to get Brad to miss. It was to try to get him to roll out and then maybe leave the shot.
Yeah,
for 3.
Exactly. Nose hit here, and you're gonna have a wide open shot for 2.
Yeah. Sweet. Yep. Yeah. Hard.
This one curling a little early.
Should be able to hold it.
Yeah, it's still holding on that one.
Clean.
No problem at all.
Looking like we're going to have a tie game here, which feels about right. Both teams playing quite well.
Same think. Get it on the nose.
And really no discussion here on this shot either. There's nowhere to roll to for Jacobs. That doesn't give Epping an open shot
Normal? Yes.
for their two. They do want to be shot rocks. They're just looking for nose at worst. Rolls in a little bit. That's fine too. Jacobs final stone.
No, Brett. No. Brett.
Curl. Clean. Clean. Yep. Straight.
Clean.
Straight.
Clean.
You're good. Clean. This was bad.
9.
It was on the nose there from Jacobs.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of knifing, the carving variety, trying to get rocks to turn over early in this game. Again, not a lot of shots thrown tight. Sweepers are trying to hold the line.
That was just a nice control I threw.
Yeah, that was control. Yeah, that's good control.
Final stone of the first half of this feature matchup.
A little more set on that one from Johnny.
Clean.
Epping the open hit for two. Nice control weight again. One of the cleanest releases in the game. John Epping on the nose for two, and we are all tied up 3-3 going into the fourth end break.
Job, guys. Way to go. Great draw, Tanner. Great draw, man.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp. Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
Every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Clinical deuce there from Team John Epping. In the fourth end, they get their two to tie things up 3-3 with Brad Jacobs. We're here in our feature matchup. The first men's draw at the WFG Masters. Guelph, Ontario at the Sleeman Center. Tyler George here with Brent Lang. And Brent, one mistake really in the first for Team Epping. Gave the two to Jacobs, and I wouldn't say really a mistake as much in this last end from Team Jacobs as much as just kind of got outmaneuvered with rock placement. And one really difficult shot played by Team Jacobs, weren't able to execute, and Epping had that two basically locked in for the last half of that end.
Yeah, a little over curl on Brett's coming around the first corner guard. Didn't want it around the corner guard, ended up around the corner, and then the chase on Marks after a really, really well-placed draw by, I think it was Tanner that threw that one. It must have been Tanner. I think it was Marks' first shot. So
just get the weight right.
Drew really to the inch, and
just get the weight
when the team
right.
with the hammer draws to the spots they want, there's not a lot you can do to not give them two unless you've thrown double centers.
Then you can move some stuff around, but you risk giving up 3 or 4 to do it.
Jake, did you?
See what Benny can do with this stone that they believe is extremely straight and fast, starting off the 5th.
Line's good.
A little heavy.
Tip your cap to Team Jacobs as well, Brent, figuring that out right from the first end.
We're good.
One stone that much different than the rest. It can be the difference in the game if you don't sort that out early enough on. No problem there, and Ebert managing it well.
I think that, and this may sound like a knock, but that's where this self-confidence and almost even arrogance comes into play as a huge advantage, that Brett throws it once and it's like, you know what, that should have curled. I don't think I did it. Like sometimes people would talk themselves into, oh, that was me. I said it too much, or I did this, I did that. And I mean, it was fortunate for them. It was a shot right to the button, the path they know from practice. And he probably had an inkling in practice too, but yeah, lots of teams, especially inexperienced, and even experienced. I kept a rock at the mixed doubles trials in the game for 6 ends. And then I'm like, why do I still have this rock? Every time I throw it, I think it's straight, and every time I do, I miss with it wide. And yeah, so I'd say sometimes you can't fix stupid, and I proved it again. But you're right, that was a good pickup, and sometimes you're lucky when you've got a rock that's so bad you can't miss it. And that looks to be the case here. Like this one looks like it's a rock straighter at least than everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got one that's like 4 inches, you know, a couple inches straighter, and you're just not quite getting there, and you keep throwing it, and it keeps doing that, and it takes you 4 or 5 ends to catch it.
Yeah, I agree. You almost want it to be severe to the point that it's a significant adjustment. You're trying to adjust for, or if it's only off by that little bit each time, you're questioning whether it's you or the rock. If it's off by that much, you say, well, I can't be that bad.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a Leeds dream, you know, if you can hand them a rock that's, you know, here's one that's 6 feet slower than this one, they curl the same. It's like, okay, perfect. I only need one weight the whole game. I just got to pick the right rock.
A couple of staggered centers now for Epping starting the end off, and Ebert buries his second behind the corner.
So this is the shot that fooled Tanner in the first, and he threw a bit of a lemon.
And again, playing the freeze around the corner guard, too. Make or miss it, it's a risky shot.
Well, Carl.
Needs to not bounce.
Really good, Tanner.
Yeah, really good shot there.
Yeah, nicely done. If you're going to do it, that's how you make it.
Trying to get to 3/4.
You want to bump it and stay high and somehow stay shot.
T-line.
Because if you don't, Epping's going around the center then.
It's close.
If you can hear the rock contact in the background on the speakers, Bobby Lammy just made like a 25-foot double run for Team Mowat.
Just a freeze.
I think Team McDonald saw that one a lot on tour this year.
Yes, then hard, Ben. Come on, hold the line. Rub.
Gotta be shot here, Ben. Gotta be shot here.
Want to move it.
Gotta be shot here.
Hard, Ben.
Gotta be shot. Gotta be shot.
Not shot.
Okay.
And didn't move it. Still can't get it out. So two things happened there. It would have been better to bounce off and stay shot and at least free up the back one. That's a bit of a disaster, and it was close to perfect.
And as you said, Brent, Epping wastes no time in putting the broom down to play that come-around draw in the center. That's an automatic. They will have Team Jacobs chasing a little bit here with the security blanket of having the #2 counter underneath the corner that they really can't do anything with. So you can play this draw around with no fear.
Yeah. Whoa. Line's good. Just play top button.
They're liking this one.
Yeah, you want to make this one good. The distance between the draw and the guards.
Hold on.
Can he come off that outside one? Not even looking at it. Deal with the middle, he says.
You were thin on that. I mean, you never know, but.
Yeah, he could. He could lie two here. I think.
Right there.
In off the red one, no?
Thin half.
Yeah, they may look at that later in the end. I think they're going to take a crack at, because it's lined up very good to get the double peel right now. Make Epping replace.
Yep. Whoa. Good.
Good double peel there from the newly minted with an asterisk Olympian.
Backing those up a bit, eh?
Yeah.
Potential Olympian. The only male in Canada with the chance to be an Olympic mixed doublist.
Yeah. Yeah, strange feeling, I'm sure, for Brett. You know, you win the trials, but now you got to go win your spot afterwards, too, not the reverse, where most of the time, unless the trials are this much farther in advance of the Olympics themselves, you know when you win the trials that your country has already been qualified. So
Hold the line.
Talk to me.
I'm sure they're
Hold the line.
as motivated as you
can.
could possibly
Line's
be
good.
to be at their best for the next World Championships, to try to win their own spot at the Olympic Games.
They will actually play in another Canadian championship to go to the Worlds next year before they'll play in this year's World Championship.
So it's entirely possible they could be watching another team playing for their Olympic spot.
No, they are the team this year. That was part of the trials.
That's
They
part
go
of
to the
it,
World
okay.
Championship this year, and the winner of the Nationals in March goes to the World Championship next year.
Got it.
It's hard to follow.
Yeah, it's
Think that's the
it
play.
makes sense considering the
Get to
format.
nose,
Right.
Just here. You don't have to get rid of it.
So that guard over curls for Epping, and now Kennedy has a pretty open look and see 3/4 of this stone.
Speed's still good here. Speed's nice, man.
Love to roll it a little bit in the direction of that pile of stones in the house.
Whoa.
Soft weight out turn for Mark Kennedy.
Curl, Brett. You gotta go. Really gotta go.
This has got a long ways to curl.
Straight. Whoa, straight. Roll it here. Hard bend.
Yeah, big finish there.
Okay, not bad.
Just far enough.
We have to roll. Rolling out's better.
Yeah.
It's another one of those shots, Brent, where cannot knows. You even heard rolling out is better. Trying to roll middle, get away from that pile.
Clean.
It's good.
Whoa. Close. Yep.
Hard!
Little light.
Yeah, it's really close. But that's okay. It's a great spot,
We'll
Jake.
still stick around for shot
good.
rock. No problem there.
Brad's got to deal with that around the
I think
corner
you're
guard
just
if
drawing now.
he really wants a deuce. Not sure that's the case.
Unless you think that that's... The thing is this is coming. This isn't going far, right?
Like the shot of Benny's.
There's no shot anymore. If you're going to play it, I think it was on the last one. We're just trying either to come around or we're nosing
you're
that
drawing.
one and drawing on Brad's first.
Top
Yeah.
button.
All right, they don't think that yellow goes anywhere. I mean, they know better than me. They're on the ice, but from the camera view I have, I think it flies out, and you can jam that there and roll right over to the other one and be second and first and third.
Yeah, you heard Jacob say doesn't think it goes very far at all. So they are just playing the draw, trying to find a 2 with their last 3 stones and ignoring the rest. Bury underneath the yellow center guard.
Line's good.
Easy.
Line's good. Sweep for here.
Copy.
Sweep for
Little bit
here.
of room.
You gotta bite the 4.
Little bit of room.
You gotta bite the 4. Line's okay. Line's good. Straight line. Hard line. Hard line, Brett. Hard.
It's really
Line's
diving.
good. Line's good. Yep. Good job, guys.
Good shot from Kennedy.
Call the room. Good.
Shot rock, top 4.
Probably firm.
Yeah.
And he's
I
got
don't
to
think
take
he'll
on
do
the
much,
runner
will he?
here and avoid the backing, avoid the jam. So somebody here's got our problem solved for us on Twitter, where all problems are solved. X. It's hard for me to call it X.
So can't World Curling set a rule pretty easily? You can sweep in a forward side-to-side motion. Sweepers must be on the side of the delivered stone, not behind it. All other forms of sweeping are prohibited. I don't know. Seems simple, he says. Jeff Slen. There it is. Well, Tyler is the president of the United... No, not the United States. What are you the president of? You're the president of the Athletes
Chair
Commission?
of the Athlete Commission.
There you go.
Sitting on the board of directors.
So take that to the bank.
Copy paste.
Copy paste, we got it. But yeah,
claim it as my own.
You're not wrong, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those discussions are ongoing. You see the in-turn run, out-turn run, sorry for Epping. Rolls all the way outside 12. Would have loved to stick that. But
Sorry, guys, it really finished on me.
Yeah, just a hair down ago.
You're either planting or we're doing something like this to guarantee the score.
Planting what? What's he saying, planting?
Well, no, you're either coming around.
Yeah.
You risk the plant.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Mark's right. If you just hit the open one, then John has to hit it, and you've got your single. Like,
Just saying, it's either you make the good draw right now, you risk the plant, but that's okay, or you nose, make this double, make him nose it, and we score. Yeah.
I think you have to draw.
I think so. You're giving Epping a lot of credit saying we're worried about him sticking the run.
Like dead sticking it.
Yeah. And even if he does, you still have a pretty good space to draw to.
Still going to have the whole button.
Yeah. Yeah, I think draw is the pretty easy
Full
call
forward, top
here.
button.
We got to play the draw. Great.
Have you seen much of this team?
We have not.
Okay.
No, I know.
Well, you hear them talking, they haven't seen much on this side, but that's only, I don't think it's speed concern, probably just a line concern.
I think that'll be close.
Speed should be pretty good across the sheet by now.
Yeah, it's a little different track
Okay, so
crossing the
sweeping for,
center
like, top
line.
button?
It's not the draw to the button path. So now you'd be thinking maybe I do need to be the president of the Athlete Commission.
I agree. I think it's a better title, especially being American.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was me, I'd be the prime minister of it.
Czar is always a good one, too.
I think that's Nick's new title. I'm making him a T-shirt.
We did that, yeah. We named him Czar, and he was fine with that.
Yeah.
Because he hates boss.
He needs a T-shirt. No, you can't.
I don't think
Can't call him that. Jen Shell's boss.
Yeah, she's the boss.
You got room.
Out-turn come around here for Brad.
Right the forefoot.
This has got plenty of weight. Oof.
Whoa.
Needs to stop to be shot right now.
Sorry, guys.
Does. Peeks out the other side a little bit.
John's just going to chase
Fly through
it.
that thinking it would be slow.
It came almost fully open, so bigger than half.
If that had sat back four buried, that's almost the ideal shot. Depending on if you're really that worried about him sticking the run. But does peek out, so Epping has a good chunk of this stone with the in-turn.
Important shot here. I mean, this isn't one you're going to miss very often.
Clean. Whoa. Clean.
Close, clean.
Yep.
Whoa.
Clean.
Sounds like a make. Tyler, where are we at with the hog line sensors as I watch man after man go armpit deep on their run backs? Is that coming back to the game?
Tech isn't there right now.
Yeah, I know. We can't have it if it doesn't work.
Yeah, we're hoping. We're talking about some Band-Aid solutions, at least in the meantime. And that has been a significant concern from the players' side, too, Brent. We've had multiple top players approach us about how far over some of the players out there are going right now. And, I mean, we're not breaking any news with that. If you're watching these feeds, I mean, we have eyes. You can see what's happening out there. So it is something that is being addressed.
Is Brad hitting here now? He just threw the draw.
Yeah, it does appear that he's hitting against four.
Maybe four, yeah.
3 at least.
He's a pretty good hitter, though.
Final stone, fifth end. Important hit here from Brad Jacobs.
Here's an example here, and I won't name names, but have a look at this one, Tyler.
Curl, Ben.
He throws it hard.
Curl, Ben.
Curl, Benny.
We'll be watching that one at the break as
No problem.
Brad Jacobs, no problem there, as you say.
Oh, no, he
Hit
got
and
that
stick.
one off.
gets the single. Now they lead 4-3 after 5 ends of play.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
So the single for Jacobs, that hit and stick on his last. Leading Team Epping now 4-3, starting the 6th end of play. Epping will have hammer. Back and forth affair here, Brent. And, you know, this is what we expected with the results we've seen from both of these teams on tour. Two of the more consistent teams all season long with making playoffs and cashing. And obviously, that's why they're here, garnering that many points throughout their season.
Feels like a little bit like momentum switched Team Epping's way. I know they're down one, but the last 2 ends, they've definitely been dictating the play.
Yeah, you can curl it a bit, Mark, if you want. Yep. Yep.
Brent, I know you mentioned this morning in the first women's draw, but I think important to bring up now for those tuning in for the first time right now that we have breaking news as of today with the Brianne Harris situation, if you want to clue people in there.
Yeah, I don't know all of the details, but she's been her name has been cleared. She's cleared to play. I just saw a Curling Canada message saying she is welcome back in all Curling Canada events. And I think, unfortunately for Brianne, she doesn't have a team at the moment. But I don't know that for sure. But I think Anderson is committed to the foursome they have here for the rest of the season. But as Chelsea and I, and it was kind of ironic, Chelsea was sitting beside me. That doesn't necessarily mean they won't change something. We've seen it time after time this year. So, but obviously good news for Brianne, and after what has been, I don't know, 8 to 10 months of, I guess 11 months of uncertainty.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen a lot of people asking why the process takes so long with these appeals. I can't answer as to what the reasoning is, but I can tell you that that's a completely normal timeline for these types of situations, that the appeals do take that long. So it wasn't anything with if it was a tougher decision than most. That's a timeline you expect to see for these types of appeals. So unfortunate for Brianne that it took that long and cost her this much of her time, you know, and we all wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt, knowing her as a competitor for this situation. We never thought that she would be somebody that would look for an advantage with something like that. So we're happy for Brianne, happy the situation got resolved and that she can continue on with her curling career ahead of the Olympics and just get back to normal life and feel like her name is cleared, you know, more than anything else.
Yeah, now it just flips back to Team Anderson and who's going to be in the lineup and when and moving forward and next year. And what if you win the Scotties with this lineup? Are you going to?
Sure.
So it's a mess.
Yeah. So we see the double centers this time from Team Jacobs. Trying to press the action here in 6.
Max.
Clean.
Top 4.
Clean.
Brad actually called that to over curl a little more and kind of block off going around the corner, but I think it got to a spot where it did just that. So John went around the center and
straight on it, straight.
Line's good.
Line's good, roll. Oh. Clean, yep. Weld it. Line's perfect. Hard mark. 15-5.
still 15-5, so maybe losing a little bit, but that was swept quite a bit, and early in the game there was some 15-7, 15-9 mark got on one freeze.
Tanner Horgan trying to follow that shot down. Top 8 foot.
We're coming down. We're going to bounce.
Still there.
Not a lot of scoring space right now for Team Epping. Still early in the end.
Top 4.
It's running like it's hot.
Cannot
straight.
be heavy.
Straight.
I don't think we're that deep, dude.
Straight.
Okay, I think
Really want to
Straight.
try to get by now. Not
Off that yellow. Disaster.
Oh. Yeah, those are both immediately gone. I don't think we're questioning Brett's ability to lose these two.
I think he has to miss the first one to not kill both of them. Literally, like they're touching and it's barely on it. Right.
Plant with Peel Wade, not messing around.
Curl. Curl. Right to it then.
Good shot from Brett.
Corners.
Now a really good setup for
You want the
Team
same
Jacobs to
kinda
the point that
8
Epping
seconds
feels
or
like they
no?
need to clear.
7.5.
7.5. Doesn't want the real heat. The Horgan brothers are capable of a lot harder than that, but maybe Johnny doesn't like the accuracy that comes with that. Maybe 7.5, so they're comfortable. 7.5 is still plenty of weight to make this triple.
It was said like you may have some insight into that, Brent. Personal experience.
Maybe.
See Tanner trying to clear both of these guards.
Great shot.
And rolls over for a second corner. That's perfect. Great shot. Your squad 3-3 over there on sheet A. Team McEwen tied with Team Dropkin.
I love it too.
McEwen with hammer and 6.
Well, he can't blank 7.
Now with a 3-1 lead on McDonald. The 6th then, McDonald with hammer.
It's like 2/3 low.
But Dean just getting
I'm feeling kind of the intern, I think.
dominated here right in front of us. Down
We going low?
3 without the hammer.
Three-quarters
Hosley
low?
shooting,
Yeah.
lying 2.5.
Intern?
Looks like maybe 3.
So you're trying to, like, do you think you're losing your shooter then?
1 second, please.
That's why I'm
Oscar looks like he's ready to leave, but he looks like that in the World Final when
and
they're
lose
winning.
the guard, but
He just
obviously
looks
we might
pretty
jam,
laid
right?
back at all times.
That demeanor doesn't change
What
much.
was your
No, it
original
doesn't. It's
vision?
great.
This way?
Well, I would love to have no guard.
Little high. Okay.
I mean, if you did stick that, is it the end of the world?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, that's really
It's
bad.
not great,
It's
but
a
if you
deuce.
stick it, at least it's top 8.
okay.
But just make it.
Okay.
Looks like 3/4.
3/4.
Double PLA, boys.
Sorry, boys, that took a little long. Yeah, 3/4 high.
If he sticks this in the rings,
That's
I think
straight
it's
here.
really, really bad. Because John's going to go around the corner guard. Even if he goes deep, what are you going to do? You don't make the slash double. 3 is all of a sudden a possibility. But that being said, Mark makes this most of the time and blank end.
Just notice the clocks, too. Team Jacobs with a healthy 13 minutes left. Team Epping has 18 minutes and 38 seconds left in their clock. Halfway through the 6th end, so they're playing at warp speed.
Mark. Really nice.
Perfect double peel there from Kennedy.
Control.
Wait, you can't. Whoa, guys. Does this change anything? You can't.
That might be the most time I've ever seen a team have
I think
left
we still want to hit though.
in a slam game
That's what he called.
at this point.
We go blank and then
Yeah,
they,
we
they don't
know.
have to do much to force us,
I know.
right?
Control.
Okay.
I don't know
what else we're
else
are you going to do?
Anyway.
Yeah, there's, I mean, you could draw around that rock to the back of the house, but it's still going to be tough to maintain the 2 even if you get a half miss.
Curl. 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 Good sweep there.
Looking like a blank here.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, that discussion that you heard where Epping said, I know, is normally, Brent, in this situation,
We have to.
Yeah.
So once we
you're
have
playing the blank 6 and then 7 as well.
We're gonna lose most of the game most of the time. So
But
can't be too
that's not an
risky.
option here.
Curl.
With, again, the second end in a row blanking, losing hammer.
I fucking fell. Wow.
Cups just doesn't communicate well without swearing. So I'm here for it.
Well, I'll give him this. He communicates very well with it.
That's what I mean.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what he's saying and how he feels.
Right. Which is all you really want out of your skip.
You're being too vague, Brad.
Something, yeah. Words never
That's
spoken
never
before.
been said. So yeah, for Team Epping now, they have to go all out in the seventh end to try to score their 2, as opposed to playing the 0 or 2 because of our rule change there. And Brent, if you want to explain that one a little bit too, with for those that are watching maybe their first game of the tournament.
I know about the blank, but we just got to play next time, right? That's
John's explaining it right there. So yeah,
like
if you do blank 2 ends in a row this week, you do lose the hammer automatically. So by hitting on,
just clean.
it's a good attitude, Jake. I just get in the hack and throw what you want me to.
That's what he was doing at the charity event when I was telling him what to do on every shot too. So he's good at it. I'll tell you that.
So what is better, knowing you have to score in 7? Are you better to take 1 in 6 and tie the game and force in 7 and take 2 coming home? But knowing that if they are able to blank, but they're never going to blank 7. Like, if you don't want them to blank 7, it's going to be very hard to blank 7. So you have to 10-2 Hosley over Adine. How are you doing?
Ooh, 5 in the final end there for Hosley, and Team Adine exiting the premises immediately.
This is one thing that the rule will do this week. All of these teams have the answers to all of the regular questions. The questions change a little bit now. Like, you never asked yourself, what's better if we can't blank 7? What's better?
So you set me up with one of the all-time great pro wrestling quotes then too. Roddy Piper, for those that watched, said just when they think they have all the answers, I change the questions.
You're going to love this. There's 2 people on the Wall of Fame at my wife's high school. Do you know who they are?
Just clean.
One of them has to be Roddy Piper then, and the other one is your wife.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought you
what
might
company?
Like that.
I love that, actually. That's my favorite fact of the week, no matter what happens the rest of the
I mean, she hasn't been back in a while, so maybe they've made some additions, but at one point it was just the 2 of them.
I don't think you do. I think you got everybody you need right there.
Right?
I mean, it's when I think Jen Jones, I think Roddy Piper. So
best high school ever.
Yeah, that's incredible. That really made my day right there. That's fantastic.
The fact that you knew his quote, I thought you might like it.
Yeah. Big pro wrestling guy back in the day.
So open blank here.
Yep, and plays out as expected for the blank.
Yeah. Clean. Hard.
Epping with the in turn. Rolls it away, and they will have to play an aggressive 7th now. Be an interesting end. As the blank goes through. And Epping still trails 4-3 onto the 7th end.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp. Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
With the blank 6th end there by Epping now. Trailing Jacobs 4-3 onto the 7th and retains hammer. But now, Brent, this is going to be really interesting as, you know, we just talked about changing the questions, you know, with the teams knowing how they're playing these situations out normally. But Epping now does not have the ability to blank this end again and carry hammer over with the experimental rule of no blanking 2 ends in a row or you lose hammer. So they'll have to play this end basically like it's the 8th. And they have to try to score 2 no matter what. They're forced to their 1. They're going to be down by a point or tied up without hammer. And if they did blank, they'd be down 1 without. So they really have to go all out to score their 2 in this end.
So this is a call you would never see. This rule changes this call. They're going top 4-foot, which in a regular game they would just drill it. They would blank the end, take the hammer to 8. I wonder if this will burn them though.
15-3.
Because normally they'd throw double centers and always have an out. John's going to get 2 free corner guards here. He could hit it and throw a delayed corner. That'd be real cocky.
Yeah, this will be a backwards end from what you would normally see. As you play this for a 0 or 2, then you have both options on the table. But if you're given one, like if they could hit this stone and blank the end out, they would under normal circumstances. But now for Team Jacobs, they can play this as a defensive end.
Hard distance.
Hey, you're good now. You're good now.
Yep, hard distance.
Need to make this corner guard usable. It's got to keep going. That's got to really keep going.
Shot in.
So I think we're not out of line, as this is a statement regarding the situation we're just talking about. And they put it out there publicly, Brent. Team Anderson says, and you can read the release on their team page on X/Twitter, but basically says that they're treating this tournament as a dress rehearsal for the Scotties, and they're going to reassess things after the tournament is over. So they're going to look at how this week goes and then make a decision on what they want to do for their lineup going forward. So the tournament got a heck of a lot more interesting for them.
And I'm not a media professional, but anytime you say we'll have no further comment, the media is going to be all over you. So maybe we should have left that out.
Yeah, everything in flux now for Team Anderson, one of the front runners for the Scotties and for the Olympic berth. The decision for Brianne Harris's eligibility now being fully able to play.
Line's good.
See what they do following this tournament.
She hasn't been on the ice. She hasn't been allowed to be on the ice in 11 months, and I think she's 5 months pregnant, so just add some more complications, but she's played way more pregnant than that before and done it very well. So anyway, back to the action. Pretty good start here. They did throw a guard. I thought they might throw another one in the house, but
yeah, I agree. I'm a little surprised that Jacobs throwing the center guard when they know that Epping can't blank, so you want to make it as difficult as possible for them to do so.
This is what happens with new rules too. We don't really know what we're doing. We can talk about it, but until you go through it a number of times, you don't really know how to play it. Like, it took years, a couple of years, and it's still people don't know exactly how to defend against the 5-rock rule. And now this is a new rule thrown at the teams, and they got to figure it out. Don't want this one to bounce.
Bounces a little. You can see the whole red stone still.
Yeah, this is
Epping can get inside.
This is a big shot here. If Tanner can make this perfect, it's big trouble for Team Jacobs. They won't have any hits to throw, and
soft weight out turn hit for Tanner Horgan. Love to roll this underneath.
Whoa! No!
just cleans okay sometimes.
Whoa!
That's what John's saying. Guys, it's perfect.
Big late move there.
That's really good.
Rolls to a good spot.
Overrolled a little bit, but man.
The angles are very good here for Team Epping. Maybe that goes back again, and there was a slight error too, Brent, but maybe reconsidering throwing the guard.
Hard to say. I don't know. I haven't seen it enough to know. The fact that they can't blank does change things a little bit, but maybe it didn't need to. I was going to say before the end started, it's not going to change how the end starts. And then they go down and throw it in the forefoot. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can get behind that. But
Top 8, top 12. Right here.
Ben's guard being so high I didn't love. I don't think that was probably on purpose. If that's just out of the rings, I think that changes things. They'd be running it back right now.
Leave this thing open. Go.
Leave it open. It's light.
Just bend. Keep it straight. Keep it straight.
Yeah, well short there from Gallant. That was supposed to be a freeze.
Do you load it up even more, or do you hit it now?
If we make a play
You just make it now and roll
You could just get into here.
all the way in there.
It's just if we roll off, we're...
Well, I was thinking roll big and make it. Well,
But that just goes here.
oh, yeah, I was thinking, freeze or get low.
Freeze, get low or corner.
I like going
Yeah,
around
you're
the
just
corner.
opening it up for them. Yeah, I think you get in there first. Okay, I like that.
I see a few places where this can hook you. I like going around the corner.
Yeah, there's a couple bad staggers.
Like a baby, like a quarter rock tap.
They have 16 minutes left. And no, in unrelated news, John Epping studied under Wayne Madoff.
I think it's too early to hit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what we're doing, but we're going to do it fast.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's 5 rocks.
A lot of rocks. That's why I like putting one behind the corner guard, because they probably have to ignore it.
Even if they freeze in here right now.
That's your third point, maybe your fourth or fifth point.
I like your first call.
I think that's it. But I
Tap
just,
it.
my worry, this is coming in, right?
Yeah, that's why I don't like
That's
that.
what I'm worried about.
So if we put one there,
So as long as they
that's
both
pretty
don't
good.
go. Yeah, that's
there.
my thinking.
Somewhere higher.
Yeah.
So this shoots over the top?
Yeah, or just even here is pretty good.
Because you don't want him to be able to plant it in the 8-foot somewhere, right? That's
Well,
the
you won't
danger.
be able to. If you're over here, you won't be able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
a
going
good
that
spot.
way.
I see it. Yeah. I just don't want him to, like...
I think that's the call, Tanner.
Yeah, I think so. I just want to be exact.
Jake likes to play fast, too.
Yeah.
Okay, Tanner. This is why we pushed you down to second.
Still just chasing a deuce. Chasing a deuce.
John reiterating there what the #1 goal is. You take the 3 if it's there, but you got to make sure a 2.
Yeah. Make this good for you.
That could be trying to trick Brad, too. No, we're just looking for a deuce, trust me.
There's 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. What do they do if you make the come around the corner guard? They run that middle one into the top 8
it has
one,
to
right?
be the middle run, yeah.
Sure has to be perfect. If it rolls off, there might be a double and roll. If they don't make contact.
The farther that this over curls, the better for Epping. If they can get this somehow to finish enough to be sitting next to that stone, that makes Brad's situation a lot worse.
Close.
Hardy, come on.
John stood up already.
We got to bounce
still
this guard
carrying
for me,
it.
guys.
This is all over the guard.
We got to bounce this guard. Okay, whoa, sorry.
At least take away the run back.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it did that.
Took away the hit, too, though.
Yes, fight.
Are we playing this intern freeze? He's got this run, too, right now.
Yikes. Unforced error there.
Yeah, a couple of draw misses from
That's the best shot.
Tanner. in this
Maybe
game.
I would guess. He's too good to miss like that. Overthinking it, thinking exactly what you said. The more this curls,
Get in here.
making sure he's not wide, throws it light and tight and hits the guard. Like, still a good situation, though.
Yeah, I think if you told Epping this would be the setup before the end, they'd take
Is,
it.
just hear me out for 1 sec. We got lots of time. Is something like this ever crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy, I think.
What? I was just thinking that the red, yellow, you might actually get one of these yellows out.
Yeah, that'd be good. But if it hits the 3 and doesn't kill the 3.
Yeah, that's the danger, what Brett said.
This is a scary one.
It's a scary one for us if we don't make a perfect freeze, right? Here's the thing, even if you make a perfect freeze, say you get one in here, are we happy?
No, he's still running it.
We're not going to be happy the rest of the end, I don't think.
The only thing is that run, he's got more room for error now because he could play it soft into the red. He could play it soft
Did you
into
ever guard
here.
that yellow?
Well, my gut was either the draw and hope we can get a
Don't
chance
have
to
much
blow
if you do.
some off later.
Now you're forcing Epping to be the one to clear things up.
Where you're trying to get the
He's always going to have this corner guard into something.
You're trying to
but
double peel, take that,
and get that.
Because here's the thing, like that's, I don't want to say it's useless, but it's.
Well, it's a deuce. It's a deuce if we make that shot, right?
yeah, that's what I see too,
Better
Vinny.
than 3.
Yeah.
So that or the draw.
What are we on board with?
I'm impartial. You guys decide.
I'm feeling this.
I like that too.
This is when you turn and you say, Johnny, you said you wanted to do, so we'll give it to you right now. Deal?
Looks like
I don't like that draw at all. It
I think
doesn't
if
do
I'm
anything
Epping,
for
I'd
us.
probably take it.
half a rock, thick
Sure.
half.
Like half.
Yeah, and if I'm Jacobs, I definitely take it. I don't like the draw either. That's the one thing.
Yeah, I agree there.
Right there.
So I like guarding the yellow, and like Brett said, just have your panties in a bunch the rest of this end, or
I'm calling to make this.
try this.
See what happens here.
If it If it doesn't hit the top 8 when it gets by and hits the other yellow one, and that yellow one doesn't go, a 3 is very likely.
And you heard Brett say they were worried about the yellow guard, too, with where you need to hit this and where that yellow goes.
I don't think it can ever go in the rings.
Whoa! Curl! Curl, Brett! Curl!
Thin.
Okay.
Mark.
Don't think that's great.
Pretty good. Good. Sorry, guys.
Likes it.
That was a lot closer.
Well, I don't know.
That throw probably went back.
Nah, they've been trained to be positive. Now we're going around the corner. I like it.
Shit.
Yeah, I like the corner a lot now.
Johnny,
you guys
I
pretty
wish
much
we could
lead
live
on my
interview.
last
Are we
one,
still
and it
playing
got-
for 2? Because this looks like I call like you're trying to play for 3.
Yeah,
You get
that's
something, that's
you lied to us.
Yeah, if you wanted 2, you would probably just come down and nose that yellow one and spread them out a bit.
So Horgan playing the intern come around draw onto the corner guard. Just trying to get some more yellows in the house for eventually when they clear that red.
Okay, guys.
Easy.
Next decision for Jacobs is going to be
Get the
really
weight right.
interesting.
Looks like. Looks like.
Curl.
Don't worry about the line like it's a speed shot, boys.
Curl.
I think you're nice.
Curl. Whoa. 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 It's really going in there now. Okay. Whoa.
I think it was always going to curl.
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 Whoa. Whoa. Just whoa. 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 Whoa.
Good.
Yeah.
Really good.
So that rock's going to be there all end, more than likely. Doesn't mean that's where the action's
Maybe
at, but
soft.
holy moly.
You like that?
Yeah. It's got to be
Also,
here to kill it.
Run in or
Lord.
cross. Well, they're just
More
playing
weight, you're trying to hit.
the board and miss the other two.
Half,
Holy
mid
moly.
half.
Let's go back to Brett Gallant's quote. I don't think we're going to be happy for the rest of this end. That's going to be accurate.
Yeah, I was just thinking a little more weights on board, but
The degree of unhappiness could
just to
be
roll.
considerably higher
But I like this.
after this shot.
This is the only shot they have, really. You can come down and bump it around and roll and risk giving up 5, but
Yep, you got her.
You could run the red in and play the cross house.
that's a
Run back
probably
double.
good option. Just run it and stick it on the top 8 one. I like that one. This doesn't give you an awesome result, and it's extremely hard.
Curl.
Kennedy trying to miss the second yellow and roll in.
Straight. Gotta go.
This is
Brett.
really curling now.
Wow, good shot. Great sweep.
It's a great shot.
That'll do. I think I like that more than just rolling under the center.
Get low.
You're still looking at 2,
Try
but
and get low.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
We're not out of the woods yet.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Again,
Can you
if you're
throw
playing for 2, you just
solid
come down
high?
and nose that yellow one, and the double goes over to the others, and you're in pretty
Yeah.
good shape. Actually, might like that anyway.
It's like
That
a
might be the
quarter
play
off
for 3
bearing.
still.
We can throw left
yeah, if you got to
want.
nose even
Okay,
on
no,
that,
That's what I
it's
mean.
gonna jiggle a little bit, and then like you said, yeah, the double's probably jamming anyways. So yeah, that might be the time to do it. Brad might be guarding after this, or at least drawing something around the center that outcounts both of these 2 yellows. So in order to make these 2 count, if this is made by Horgan, they're probably going to have to kill 2 more reds because of where Brad's going to throw his next one.
Yep. Yep.
Hard to hold them right out of your hand. I don't think this is going to be good news.
That's all over the guard.
Whoa.
Holy.
Just leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. We don't want to guard that. That's just okay. Yeah.
I'm out.
Just guarding, aren't we, guys?
Throw a guard
Guarding,
now.
aren't we? Good throw guard. Good throw guard. And 2 thoughts: the guard, or just the freeze low, bump it back button, little unlock. That's the other shot. But I'm
Hard is the
good with the guard,
shot.
guys.
So 2
He's got Wally, but
2 kind of total misses in
off the
6
wall,
shots,
yeah,
and they
but
still have him
if we
in trouble.
guard, he tries the double peel, we might be able to just hit this hard on the nose. Right here, not staggered. Pretty good, isn't it? Yep.
Benny, don't whisper. We want to hear what you say.
On his first.
I didn't think he could.
With like no
How are we going to get another one to light two?
What are you saying?
Then do we like, I don't know.
Even Brett couldn't hear him.
On this first? Well, we got this short little run double. That's what Brett's saying is don't, like, you're not staggering them. You're throwing it in the hole. We're here. He makes the in-off. Brad's got the run double to get rid of one of them.
It's either that or we try to get to the nose and unlock, but I don't know. I don't like that at all.
No?
So guard, well, if you ever tap this to here and he makes a double.
Trouble.
Okay, where do we want to be? Brett, can you show me?
Thinking right here, Brett?
Yeah.
It's almost easier with the other turn.
Just want to take enough ice. How's that? Think that's too much?
I don't know. Close.
Like that?
So guard it so that they don't hook that tight red one, so that if things go south, they can run that in there.
Yeah, 3 guard?
Yep.
Kind of put one right beside that red would be ideal. John might just throw the nose runner in lie 1.
3 guard, Mark.
4 guard's fine.
What's a 4 guard, Tyler? Is that in the house?
It would be for me.
If it's in the house, it's really not fine. If he can nose it and be in the house, you're really upset.
Jacob's playing the guard.
Yeah, you think so?
Not a lot of ways in for Epping if this is made.
Has to curl a little.
Curl.
Line's good, guys.
Whoa. Real tight to the
Whoa. Line's good. Guys. Just try not to stagger.
The 4 is not in the rings because they say it's a 4 and it's not in the rings.
Good.
So they have a different scale for their guard depths as well. That's not more confusing for us at all.
No, he hooked it a little.
And then it's going to be wide open. I like that.
That's definitely there.
Yeah, you can walk it down.
I think so.
You got to get that red one out of the
Just a sliver.
Out of the 4, or at least off the button. It's your shot.
Really needs to leave the 4-footer. What good is it? Because it's going to be behind a wall.
Exactly. Yeah. He wasn't have this in-off.
Yeah, then he's looking at the in-off off the yellow rock that's just off the boards. So they're going to have a go, trying to come through the port, move this back red stone.
Think he can get mine going in there or not?
Well, I think looks like it's going a little bit more than earlier.
Corey Dropkin looking for a visit from the official, the roaming official.
It's that or we hit and roll off his red and behind and load everything up in the middle, and then I have a bunch of runners and an in-off for a minute.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because his steel's not that bad here,
No.
right?
Yeah.
I don't mind loading it up.
We got time.
Yeah. Don't mind loading it up like you're saying.
I've been correctly stating they have time.
We have time.
12 minutes left on the clock.
We can go grab a piece of pizza.
You have lots of runners. You only need to get rid of one of them.
And then it gets really scary, doesn't it?
True.
All 3 of these
And if you give up a steal of 1 here,
right
it's
to
not
there.
the worst. Especially if it's, risking maybe getting 3 or 4.
You don't want to roll deeper than this.
Exactly. Roll a rock in a bit.
You got to roll. You got to be control and roll right to there.
Yeah. I like it.
Is that possible?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm sure you
Yeah.
go.
Just solid
I like it.
control.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
You might not even have room to throw this that hard.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Okay. So, yeah, if they roll this a little bit
You just
in,
don't want to roll behind.
then they have that yellow run in
Well, there's all sorts of runs.
to this pocket.
Or there's the left one. Like, where does... So he makes this roll. Let's give this to him.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's going to, but I think he's going to be close. What's Brad's next shot? He's going to hit and roll off this wide one, and John's going to have to run the red one for 2 or play the in-off for 3. He's got a million ways to get shot rock out right now. Brad can't take them all away, and it's extremely hard for Brad to get to the 4-foot. So if John rolls this to the 4-foot...
Girl!
That's still outside of nose right now. It's just going to be on the nose.
Okay.
Brad has no choice but to play that roll now, looks like.
Board, wait.
Yeah, feel it out.
Playing the double or just the roll? Just the roll.
Okay. You can't make the double. Well, you could, but it's...
Gotta hit, yeah. The double doesn't matter anyway, I don't think.
But does he have to play this roll? I mean, it's the best result if he makes it, but John can't get enough of the inside to make the double himself off his own.
No, the whole idea of this, I think, is just to get third shot. Even if he noses it, it's fine. Because he doesn't, the only shot he'll have for 2 if he knows this is the in off the wing for 2, right into shot rock.
Yeah, which is
extremely hard.
He's probably playing it.
Oh, definitely he's playing it.
Hey, Mark, nose is a good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it on the line, nail the weight.
I think rolling in might actually make it worse. No, it won't.
Out-turn hit for Jacobs. Trying to roll in if possible.
Clean.
I heard nose is still okay here.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Curl.
Ben. Curl,
Benny. Curl,
He's definitely getting to the inside.
Roll.
He's going to like 2.
Good shot.
Really good there from Jacobs.
Good sweep.
Now John's going to make a run back to give him 1. Or you could make the yellow. Yeah, the yellow into theirs for 2.
I felt a little soft.
Okay. All right. You get away with a little on the safe.
They just run it to a third.
Yeah, anything on the right side. I mean, this is way harder, though. It might make some sense to go through the hole. He's going to make... That's not easy either. Might as well play the... They're both hard. Play the hard one for 2 rather than the hard one to give up 1.
Yeah. So the yellow run back.
Just a hair high.
Yep, just a sliver on the high side. Try to double those 2 reds out of the 4-foot. Long run here for John Epping. Seen him make a few of these already this year. Final stone, 7th end. Run double for 2.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa. Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sounds pretty good.
Oh, misses the second. Made it too good. Barely missed the red guard.
Pretty good, though. Gave up a steal 1, so still got action coming home in the 8th end.
So a steal for Jacobs. They will lead 5-3 going to the 8th end.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on,
Every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance.
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
when victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
There's a place where the world's best curling not only lives, it rocks. Download the new Grand Slam of Curling app and live stream all the action. Get exclusive content, stats, merch, and more. Let's rock.
Eighth end of action here. The Grand Slam Curling WFG Masters, Guelph, Ontario. Here at the Sleeman Center, Tyler George joined by three-time world champion Brent Lang. Our featured matchup, Brad Jacobs leading John Epping 5-3 after that steal won in the seventh. So no confusion about what Epping's mode of operation will be now, Brent. All out, needs 2 to tie, 3 to win. So we'll see that same situation, very likely with Jacobs going 2 in and where they go with that fifth stone.
See double corners, and is he going to stack them? He's calling it high, so he's going to put them both on the same side.
They've done that pretty consistently the entire game, so that's definitely their preferred setup. It's 2 corners on one side as opposed to even up corners on opposite side.
I was reading Jonathan Brazo, Johnny Brazo's, not the recap, but the what you need to know coming into this event, and we're going to rename this the Glenn Howard Masters of Curling. 6-time champion for the Wizard of Winter.
Is that an actual thing? Are they doing that?
Which? Renaming it?
Yeah.
No, I am.
Okay.
I don't think they are.
We are.
We are. You and I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in charge. We got the airwaves.
GHMC.
Sweep for biting 8. Line's good.
Keep going, you're close.
Full 12's great.
Keep going, you're just top 12 at the most.
Line's perfect. Keep going.
I think our weight's good, guys.
Just go.
Keep
Just
going,
go.
Brett. Keep going. I
Line's
got a
good.
little light here
Line's
still.
good.
Got a little light here.
I got 16-4.
16-4 with the sweep to the top of the 12-foot. That's a long time to be sweeping that rock.
John's looking like he's considering hitting that, but that's crazy talk.
You want to try and nose it?
No.
I think we need another guard.
You need another guard.
I'd rather Tanner make something, yeah.
And you have to make that absolutely perfect for it to be worth anything.
You want the lead to throw the game rock? I don't think that's a good idea. If he misses it, the game's almost over.
So John was discussing hitting that top stone because a nose hit would have kept it out of the rings. So it's one less red you have to move later in the end, and it would have been both in the no-tick zone and the free guard zone.
Yep. Whoa.
But extremely precise on that shot. If it rolls a couple inches either way, then it's an easy decision for Jacobs to clear. So they do go to the second corner instead.
If we throw the guard and he makes this freeze, like we're in one.
Do you ever like T-line?
Let's go T-line there. I like kind of open more.
Yeah.
Right like there.
Do Brett's call. I like it. T-line.
Sticking with
I got you.
kind of choke the corner, not really choke the corner, but just draw in for second shot. I think it's important that this one is not leaving a double onto shot rock, because when they go around the corners, that top 12 one will not out count around the corners. So there would be one shot to lie two.
If you're touching the tee, that's fine.
I think the whole idea of this strategy spreading yours out is that it takes more than one shot to lie two for Team Epping.
Line's good. Play for here.
So this needs to be even, not leave a double.
Yep. Right there, you're good, Mark. No, gotta go there.
Nice.
Good. Good.
Yeah, that's well done. Just far enough.
I don't know about this shot either, actually. Maybe I'm just angry today.
I agree.
But that seems like a guard that I'd want to use at some point. Like, what if you just go around everything at this point? Back 8 for third shot even.
I'm always a proponent of the back house draw. Make your opponent be the one to move those stones.
Yeah.
Probably board.
Whoa. Yep.
Yep. Weight's good.
Yep.
Yep. Weight's good.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard. Thank you.
Right in here is pretty good. Yep. That's good, Tanner.
Good.
Not bad, but
it clears the stone and rolls a little bit off the center, opens up the #1 counter.
You like anything over here? Could try this, Brett.
Those two rocks are so good. What if you rolled all the way over here even? Well, whatever. I'll let you guys
I was
decide.
thinking this.
No, you guys decide. Whatever you like.
I like it.
Okay.
Trying to make that double.
Okay.
jeez.
Looks like half a rock
Mark
is
doesn't
full,
love
stick
it.
half.
Jeez, guys, we're good. But
Dead straight, yeah.
I don't see another shot, really. I mean, you could pick that top one. They go around the corners. That's fine. That's maybe easier than this. This is the best shot, though.
Girl.
See if Gallant can get two yellows going here.
Whoa. It's okay. Good.
This goes over the top. So one corner gone. Still some rocks to work with for Team Epping.
Is there an out turn around everything? Is that possible? Where his broom is? No. See if Tanner can get one in there. T-line, dead buried. The corner's pretty wide, but they did it on purpose. John had the broom like right on the center line, which
Always curl.
I would like to see another 12 inches of ice if I'm throwing a corner guard.
The line shouldn't be a problem here. This is going to turn a lot at the end.
Straight.
The old curl straight.
Straight. Distance, distance, distance.
What's that word that
distance. Yeah, really
we
clean.
used to use back in the day? Clean?
Yeah, it's close. Weight only.
I was thinking this. Huh? To make that good, you're hitting about a third. A third's close.
I like this.
Right there, Mark. Hey, listen. Thin
Listen.
half sticks it.
Yeah. What turn we throwing?
I like the out.
Go. Okay.
Didn't hear any grievances this time.
No. Hit it right here, Mark.
Well, I wasn't sure. I mean, Brett threw a peel here. It's a little bit of a guess as to whether it's going to run straight or not. I think it's just going to run right, throw it. Okay. Out turn. Out turn third.
I like saying that before I throw it, too. You know, guys, we don't really know exactly what this is going to do. I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to throw it great, but I can't tell you if we're going to make it or not.
Setting yourself up,
Yep.
eh?
I'm going to do my best.
Whoa.
Going to be playing the double, trying to just stick or catch the back of that yellow stone.
Like that.
Just like that.
Hard run, go.
Good shot. Good shot.
Pretty good result. No guards in play. Red sitting 3. Still some options for Epping.
Not very many good ones.
I think it jams into the wing, yeah. Well, it might jam into either one of them.
I don't have any great ideas. Freeze the one
Try
back.
to do this.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good call. Try and create a pocket.
We freeze.
Yeah, you can't
That's
really
probably the call.
create the pocket by tapping straight
You don't
back
wanna
or at
know,
an
Cap.
angle
Yeah.
because the double is just dead lined up then.
Yeah. Are those two level? Can we go? Can we go here? And then it's tough to remove it. But
Yeah, he's just gonna blast her through and then jam it there, so we're still in the same boat.
if we're high,
We need to create a pocket somewhere, I think.
Freeze on the top one, as we're looking at it here on the right
Back
side,
ends.
like on half of it, then anything that's hit there would go straight into the side red.
that's the main thing.
I don't hate this.
Back 8, yeah. Tap it level with the back one. I think that's min ice of anything. Sorry? Looks like min ice of anything.
That looks
We're trying to get
super
that.
tight for ice. For
Yeah.
back 8?
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
All the good throw.
Trying to set up their last 3 shots here. Jake Horgan tapping this red stone back behind the tee line.
Little light.
Whoa! Yep!
Back for it.
Yep!
Back for it.
Yep!
Need to move this one far enough.
Yep! Yep!
This looks perfect.
Oh, good shot, Jake. Well
That's
done.
really good by Horgan.
Okay. Yeah, the double's there.
Double's definitely there still.
Yep.
Could just hit and roll as well.
Is the double the best shot, or is just a nose hit in
I
the
like it.
Yeah.
I like you're in.
I think Brett's onto something. If you just
Enter.
nosed it and if ever tickled that red one on the way by, that's the best shot.
Like
If you make contact with that red, yes, that's the
Even
best
if-
shot.
And even if you don't, like if you just hit and rolled right in front of yours, or even hit and rolled over in the
Don't think you can.
side 8 foot.
Two-thirds is good, though.
do you like you're in or you're out, Mark?
I like the out turn.
Okay.
You guys okay with that? Just a sliver more.
Hit this one a little thin. It could touch your red and it'll come right up and above the yellow and kill your red. Then they freeze in the pocket and got a big problem. He won't miss this, but if he did.
Double attempt from Kennedy.
Clean up.
And out turned across the face of the stone just a little bit.
Yes, Ben hard.
Catches their own and spins too far.
I got him. Sorry, Marcus.
You
that was
stabbed him
not on
there.
purpose. That just could happen. Not
That's
that.
that's just doing your job, Brent. If
Now what are you gonna
hypothetically
do?
this happens,
See?
Now it's just a little tiny tap on the wider red stone, sit right in that pocket.
So if they make this freeze, Tyler, what's your next shot if you're Team Jacobs?
That's a very good question. I think it's going to be a timeout and a discussion. I'm going to predict that if this is made, I'm predicting a timeout right now. Big shot here from Jake.
Yeah, pretty similar to what he just threw would be really good.
Yeah, you
sweep it a little less and
almost don't want to move it. Maybe just a couple inches at most. Line the most important thing.
That looks tight line. Like that's ice is straightening up a little.
Lossing a little now.
Yeah, really good.
Pretty good. Could still get that one to go. I'm a little surprised they weren't sweeping that a little more for line.
I thought if anything you were going to bump the inside one would have been better, but it's pretty good.
Shots, bud.
Thinking like, I was thinking my end. Okay.
Jacobs thinks that these are
right there.
well, he's just staggered enough to get him at least that second one moving, if not getting both out.
Thick half?
I think he's trying to roll into the reds
Half a rock.
and spread them so that that yellow is removable.
Yeah, right into the back reds. Move them around.
Yeah, and once he moves those, they're not going to lose the game this end. If he tried something on that and didn't quite, there's nothing really to try. If he tried to get rid of it and jammed it, he could lose the game this end.
Yeah.
A deuce here doesn't kill them. Kills me. I can't spare 15 minutes though. Although I've enjoyed this game. Well played by both teams. Lots of great shots and a couple of little misses, which always make it interesting.
Jacobs hitting the yellow, trying to move those back reds. So the backing is gone.
Great shot. Good shot, bro.
A really good shot there.
Not bad. Not bad.
Probably takes 3 out of the picture.
It definitely takes 3 out.
Definitely a chance for 2.
How do you make it? You got to draw right to the spot.
Yeah, we just don't want to move this at all, right?
Don't move anything and be past your yellow, and you're going to get 2.
You're almost even better just to be on the corner of this.
You're going to get a shot for 2. This game actually deserves a little extra time, a little overtime.
I think so. I'm on the next game anyways. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, just buy ours is fine.
All right. I think I got the afternoon off.
You don't want to move the back red.
Maybe go back to Guelph University, see what the Griffins are up to. I think it's the Guelph Griffins.
Okay.
There's no chicken sandwiches like in St. John's to grab at the arena quick here, though, right?
They got pizza, they got caramel corn, they got popcorn, they got hot dogs, they got French fries.
Was it Mary Brown's? Is that what they
Mary
call them?
Brown's, the Mary Brown's Center, baby.
A lot of those things out there. Well,
Wait's close.
I don't think I had a single one.
I had our share between the two of us. So Epping playing the out-turn freeze, at least to get by their own. They don't want to move these back reds.
Curl! Curl!
I don't think that's any good.
Not good. Both those can go now. Just a little heavy there from John. And taps that stone, so Jacobs basically just firing it at the pocket. And both should go. This would be a game winner for Brad.
So this spot,
A lot of spots to hit this. Just can't hit it too thick.
you just don't want to back it off too much here.
Yeah, there's no way to go between and not get both.
No, and even if he did, if disaster struck and flashed, he'd hit the outside one and kill the middle one, I think. I wouldn't want to find out.
Brad Jacobs, final stone here in the 8th. Playing this pocket double for the win.
Curl! Curl! Clean! Very good. Great shot.
And that's perfectly done from Jacobs.
Good game. Good luck.
So there is your final.
Good luck. Good game, John. Good luck.
5-3 with the X, we believe. Jacobs takes the win. Very well played game on both sides. We will be back here not too long from now. Our feature matchup, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 Central, will be Rachel Homan taking on Team Ha. Myself and Chelsea Carey on the call. So for myself, Tyler George and Brent Lang and Home Team Network signing off. We will see you at 3 Eastern.